What is up, nation? It's been a while, but the boys are back in town. How you feeling, Western?
I'm feeling nothing short of spectacular, man. I'm feeling good,
Oh,
feeling great.
oh,
No
not
worries.
much.
And feeling good. I'm feeling great. It's always good to be back here. I always love talking football. Let's talk about our Raiders. It's been a while, but hey, we are back and we're better than ever. And hey, it's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. So, time for the truth tellers to get active here and get real with the nation and tell some truthy truth. I hope y'all are ready for that, and that's cool. But you know, we already got my boy Raider Ryan in the chat.
Salute to Raider Ryan.
Salute to Raider Ryan. This man may be more responsible for this live than any other person. So thank you, Raider Ryan,
Thank you, Raider Ryan,
for
brother.
lighting a
Thank you.
fire.
Mhm.
Thank you, thank you. I've been around the ecosphere, the Raiders little universe on other people's lives, but sometimes you just got to get your own space and have some time to just talk about what you want to talk about. So
Absolutely.
here we are. I think my boy Black will be with us a little bit later, and we'll kind of reset when he jumps in. But we was kind of talking about fantasy football and what's going on with the fantasy teams and stuff. And I was talking about where I'm at. This being all aboard in our little playoff game here. I had a bye week because I was the one seed, so I just got it chilling. But all aboard, he made it into the game and stuff, and so yeah, we're gonna see what happens there. Um, I got a feeling I'm gonna go ahead and win this and move on. And then, but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's
Yeah.
trying. Yeah. So yeah, doing pretty good in that league. Got my own little league, doing pretty good there. How you feeling about your fantasy football prospects right now?
Right now, man, I'm about 50-50, man. First off, I just want to say shout out to all aboard Raiders, in the channel, man. He's a great dude, great guy. He makes
Oh hell
great,
yeah!
great Raider content. Cool
Check him
dude,
out if
man.
you
So
don't
make sure you
already
guys go check
subscribe.
out his channel. Super
Mm-hmm.
cool guy. Right now, I'm currently in the championship semifinal in my game against my personal friend James right now, who is a Bronco fan. Cool, cool guy, but he likes the wrong team. Um, so him and I always banter back and forth. But the thing about fantasy, man, is that any player could go off at any given moment in time, and it's all about who you start and when you start them. So you got to make sure that you start the guys at the right time, and
Yeah.
he got the good team. I feel like I have a good team, but it all depends on how the players perform, on their fantasy day. Not only does it factor in the players you draft, but it's also a little bit of luck too. And your players,
For real.
they've got to stay healthy too. And so we'll
Man,
see.
for real.
I also got the bye week as well, just like you. Before I came into this week because I was the second place seed, fortunately. So I'm very happy for
Mm-hmm.
that. But I'm just hoping my luck could continue, and we'll see what happens coming tomorrow. So hopefully I have a good story to tell the following week.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we go ahead and win this because I did just talk shit. So, um, so if all aboard does come back and beat me, I will let y'all know. I'm not gonna hide it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So, um, now in my other league, my boy Drew, what's up, Drew Beats? If you out there, he always gives me trouble. Um, Charger fan. It's annoying, but he seems to know football for some reason. I don't get it. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm like 2 seed in that league. So, but this league goes back for before I was even a content creator, before any of that stuff. We just had a little league that we've been doing for I don't even know, like 10 years now. Something crazy. So yeah,
Nice.
gonna try to bring home my I think this would be championship number 5 if I win this one.
Nice. Same. So
Mhm.
I'm going for my 5th. Trying to be like Kobe, on this one here, so I was very fortunate
One for
in
the thumb.
this home league that I am in here. I have won in this league 4 times in a row once. So I was
Mm-hmm.
super just hitting players. I was luck, it was
Mm.
luck. Guys
Mm-hmm.
weren't injured, and
Mm-hmm.
the players that I played with in that league were not happy with that, so they were coming for my head, and then so I think the fourth championship that I won, I believe it was like 2019, 2018. I have to go check, and but yeah, man, it's been a few years, so yeah, we'll see how things turn out.
Trying to, yeah, trying to get one for the thumb, so I can be, you know, pulling that same thing. And then I think we're both in the what the hell happened to Kyle Pitts club.
Yeah, so for all the people who drafted Kyle Pitts, um, I
Damn,
I feel sorry because I feel sorry because
yeah,
it's
I
been a
feel your pain.
horrible chain of events that happened with him. I was going into the draft thinking that I drafted him at a steal when
Mm-hmm.
I was doing so much research, saying all the people were saying, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do
I was
it."
like, it's Kirk
He,
Cousins, it's Kyle
yeah,
Pitts, it's gonna be
and I said the
crazy.
same thing. Well, no, this year he has Kirk Cousins, and yeah, Kyle Pitts, he did good, at the beginning of the season, kind of, but then after it was just on a downward slope. And
Mm-hmm.
this week I'm going to be going with Hunter Henry, and but wouldn't that be funny if Penix just, he opens that door for him and geez, he just starts balling out,
Just my luck.
like
It's gonna be just
freaking,
my luck.
like
Exactly.
freaking Tony Gonzalez or something like that.
Seriously, and watch Drew Beats pick up Kyle Pitts right before. I'm watching
Man,
you, Drew. Don't you do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. My boy A Train, what's up? What's up, A? So listen, my boy A Train is a huge Ducks fan, you know. So he been on the Dylan Gabriel train this whole time. And looks like if we don't get Shador, there's rumors that Dylan Gabriel
yeah, bro.
is the next candidate to take that quarterback spot. So um,
I have heard, I have heard about that, and I'll be honest here, I don't really know too much about him, but I've watched chat sports, and Mr. Rentz has said he
mhm.
booked it and he basically guaranteed it and he signed off it and said that if we do
Yeah.
not get Sanders or Cam Ward, that it's a guarantee that we will get Dylan Gabriel. So I'm really
Mhm.
interested to see how that's going to pan out, So
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
I just know that we're in dire need of a quarterback. So we'll just see, how things pan out,
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I heard from sources a while back that Shador was our choice, and that it may be a package situation with his dad coming in. So I've heard some stuff.
Yeah, so I just got to chime in, on that too. Shout out to the guys in the chat, Airsoft dude, see you. So the thing about Dion, right? Prime time. I love some prime time. He's great dude, great player, great college coach, right? But I honestly don't know if he'll actually pull the trigger and be an NFL coach, just based on the things he said, right?
Hmm.
Like he
Hmm.
always envisions himself coaching college kids, right? But we all
Hmm.
know that Dion likes to, kind of be a fibber a bit. So I kind of believe that that there's a small percentage of him he could be kind of fibbing and he could be an NFL
Hmm.
head coach. But I kind of strongly feel in my gut that he's going to remain in college. But
Hmm.
not to bash on Antonio Pierce, right? But anybody's better than Antonio Pierce right now, man. He's just a bad coach. Sorry to the Raider fans who don't like what I'm saying. He's just not a good coach. He's not good at game planning, game calling, game situational awareness. Just overall, he's just not a good coach, and he got thrown into the fire too early. And I can name just so many better coaches that are a better fit and a better coach than him, and I just don't see him coming back. And just based on all the things that I've been hearing too with Mark Davis, and he ain't happy, And I just think that Pierce's days are going to be coming to an end soon, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't see him coming back, especially if we do get Sanders or Ward. Why would we want to have Antonio Pierce? And I'm sorry, Raider fans, if you don't like what I'm saying, but I just got to say this, like, and Antonio Pierce is garbage, and I don't want him. I don't want him to have his garbage coaching on our freshly top pick drafted quarterback. It's not a good look, and I don't want. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, well, Dan Campbell, Dan Campbell." I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. It's not even in the same. Okay, so I get you guys' aspect of what you're saying with that, but it's not in the same atmosphere. It's
Hmm.
just check out the coaches that and Antonio Pierce hired too. Like the really good one that he hired was Cliff Kingsbury, who didn't even want the job and he left. And
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
it's it's just all bad, and he's just not a good coach. I don't know how much clearer I can say it, but yeah, it's just I just don't see it.
Yeah. I've been on this since game one. After what happened in that San Diego game, I lost faith that he uh, had the wherewithal to do this. I think you don't really learn to be a coach on the job. It's too much to try to add, more skill while you're also trying to be the head person of a huge organization, right? Um, so I think that he may get better after this. And a lot of times coaches get fired and come back and they're better, but I don't think this is going to work out for him. I'd be surprised if Mark Davis uh, isn't happy. Is happy, right? I agree with you, Fuentes. He should be extra. He already said he was disappointed. And he came out and just said, like, not good
Yeah.
enough. But the GM is cool. That's what he said,
Oh
basically.
yeah. Oh
So I
yeah.
was like, okay, well, we already know what that means then, right? Um, and from what I'm hearing, there was a point where Mark Davis was wanting Dion. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I think Tom Brady has a lot to do with what will happen, and if
Oh,
Tom
definitely.
Brady has something to do with that, then I would think Dion has a leg up there. Also, I think it's probably the ball's in Dion's court here, right? Most
Yeah.
likely,
Oh yeah.
I think he'd probably offer him the job if he wants it.
Definitely.
But
So I just have to just go back on Pierce here too, just so
mhm.
the fans out there watching. So I ain't trying to hate on and Antonio Pierce by saying he is a bad coach. I'm just saying it just because it's a fact. Like, think about it. He okay now just think, right? What has Antonio Pierce done compared to last season when he beat the Chiefs, right, to basically
Mm-hmm.
get the job compared to now. What has he progressed on and gotten better at this whole season? Nothing. Nothing. He has not progressed on nothing. And I always see him on the sideline with his headset, mic flipped up. And who is he talking to? He needs to have the mic flipped down. And I just see him. He looks kind of lost. And, it's just, and I'm going to say this again. And you probably heard me say this in every single live that I've been doing with my man here. This is to most of you fans out there. This is the guy who you wanted, the guy who drove the 6'4" Impala and the white Air Forces. You guys were just enamored with Antonio Pierce. And I also blame Max Crosby too. I love Max Crosby. Don't get me wrong, but I blame him for saying, well, if we don't get Pierce traded,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there is the two factors of that, and we got caught up in that hype. And I always say we should at least give Jim Harbaugh a call. And I know there's a lot of fans. Well, Jim Harbaugh would have never came here. We had no quarterback. Okay, so that's what you guys will say, right? I always say money talks. Money talks. We should at least gave him a call. We should at least gave him an interview. We should at least brought him in the building. And every time I see Jim Harbaugh on the Chargers sideline, I kind of get pissed, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, what if, like he could have been here with us right now. Who knows, man? But I don't want to talk about that because now Jim Harbaugh is our enemy, right? But Pierce was just a bad fit. We got, not me, but the majority of you Raider fans got caught up in the whole Pierce rah 6'4" Impala, all that stuff. I can't even think of a thing. Ill, pain, intent, or that quote he said something. Smoking cigars, all that, right? He talks a good talk, but he can't walk the walk, And any
Yeah.
coach out there is better than Pierce right now. I'm just sorry, he's just too inexperienced. Too
Yeah.
inexperienced.
The the in-game management stuff, right? Like timeout
He has
mismanagement.
not
You
gotten
know what I
better. He has
mean?
not gotten better, bro. He's not gotten
The
better. He's not
fourth
learning
down
anything.
decisions, whether the challenge or not, the special teams failures in key moments, right? Um, Obviously, the mismatch between the coordinator and the players at the quarterback and running back position, and like I just and then
Yeah,
he's resistant to changing. Like he seemed, like you said, he's just continuing to stand on that business, like, oh, this is how I want to do it or whatever. And so, we're 2-12. You know, so we can.
yeah,
I think
man.
that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
it's
not the
it's
way I think we
it's
can lead a
it's
team.
it's just a trip, man. And I wanted, I wanted to give him a chance, right? Like we all hired him. That's our coach, that's our guy. Like no
Mm-hmm.
matter who our coach is, I'm always gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
try to pull for him. But when you don't do good, and when I see it, when it's clear as day, like I'm sorry, Antonio Pierce, but you suck. You suck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, he made the decisions he made in San Diego, and then he came out and said, "I do it again," and then he did do it repeatedly again, and I was like, "There's no way." I mean, if you can't see how ridiculous it was for us to, you know, try to go for it from our own 40 in the beginning of the game, and then punt it from their 40 or something when
Yeah.
we like it's the end of the. Come on, man! Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't want to hear this all he's tanking thing, whatever. Okay, I don't want to hear that. That's not. I don't think that's based in reality. NFL players don't collude that sort of thing. Right? It's too much, and the players would riot. You got the players calling a meeting saying like, "There's not enough attention to detail." Like, bro,
You know what?
no.
Like nobody knows what really happens, or nobody really sees what Antonio Pierce's game plan or his game script that he has going for the opposing team for that that we're gonna play for that week is, and I would love to like see it because I'm not trying to hit on Pierce, but I can imagine it's not very detailed. I can imagine it's very basic. I can imagine you like it is the most default of the defaultest, standardist, basicest stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, um, you know,
Boy.
I just I don't blame half of our players for being injured. You know what I mean, and not wanting to come
Mm,
back. You know what I mean?
mm,
And
mm,
I was watching the Falcons game with my sisters. From one was from out of town, and one was from out of state. We're sitting down. We're watching the game, and we're at a bar. I don't drink, but I'm with them because they're out of town. So we ate burgers and all that stuff, right? So we're down there, and what's sad about it too that the game was so bad that during the not just that, but here in Cali, where I'm at here in the Bay Area, there was more Vikings fans in that bar than actual Raider fans. And during the start of that game, they had the Vikings games sound on over the Raiders game, and I'm watching the Raiders game, and when I saw that sign, it said "tank for Sanders," and I'm like, dude,
mm,
so I'm just watching it, right, and it's like Ritter, our offense, Pierce. I'm just watching all of this. It's just
mm,
a a conundrum of just failure, and right. So look, I know there's fans who would like to say, like, hey, I don't like to lose. Winning ain't a part of our culture. Just win, baby. And I totally get it. I
mm,
understand that.
mm.
I get it. But you got to lose these last two games to win for the future. You got, dude. We are
Yeah.
in the race for the. So if I'm correct, we are the first round pick in the hunt. Or no, I'm sorry. We are the first round pick for the draft right now. I'm pretty
Yeah, we're
sure
number one.
that hasn't changed, right? And the Giants are
No.
second.
As
So
long as we lose out, it stays that way.
yeah, right. So and I really hope. Now I'm not hating on AOC at all. I really hope that AOC does not come in this week or the following week and we beat these and we win this next game or the game after, because that would devastate me. Because why the heck would we want to win these next two games when we just been losing straight up, right? And then we win these last
Yes.
two games when it means absolutely nothing for what, pride, or just to ride off the like season hot, right? But then
Right.
but then we fall back, and then we're what, we fall from first to like the 10th pick or the
Ninth,
11th
10th.
pick. You know
Yeah.
what I
Something
mean?
crazy. Yeah, bro.
Why
You
do
don't want to
that?
do that. You don't want
You
to do
don't
that.
want to do that.
Listen,
We've gotten this
we
far.
won it. We won that game last year at the end against the Broncos, and everybody was really happy about that, including me. Like, beat the Broncos. Got to keep that streak going, right? That streak was gone the first week of the first time we played them next season because they drafted Bo Nix one pick before us. Just gonna say that, right? Sometimes you lose a battle to win the war. Right? That's kind
Yeah.
of how it works, right? You sacrifice a pawn in chess, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes,
And I just have to say too, like, look, Broncos, I dislike the Broncos just as much as every other Raider fan, but I got to give credit where it's due, man. Bo Nix is a good quarterback, and I'm gonna hate playing him twice every year in the AFC, and that's why we got to get a quarterback of our own who could
mm-hmm.
compete with Bo Nix, Patrick Mahomes, and
Justin Herbert, man,
Herbert. You know
Justin
what I
freaking
mean?
Herbert. Yeah,
Like
man.
Herbert on Thursday night, man. Dude, he lit it up, and I'm like,
That's
man,
that's
okay, now, look, now it sounds like I'm bashing Pierce, but look, I'm just saying facts here. You have Andy Reid, Sean
mm.
Payton, and Jim Harbaugh, and then there's the discount Blue Light Special, Dollar Tree,
He said the discount double check.
Antonio
Mm-mm-mm.
Pierce, man. food stamp, dollar coupon, wick.
Oh,
Come on, man.
he's a wick item. Come on, y'all. We got to do better than that.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Speaking of Bo Nix, there's a famous cut up of my look when the Broncos drafted him one pick before us, and people thought I was crazy when I said that Bo Nix was a very good quarterback, and well, here we are.
He's good.
Some people still
He is good. He look. He had all that experience in college, dude. Like he is a good quarterback, right? And I really wanted Penix. I thought he was gonna fall to us, but that didn't happen. And I was in the boat with you too. I thought that we were gonna get Bo Nix too. I thought that the Broncos maybe might have gotten a quarterback, but I didn't think that they were going to pull the trigger right there. But they did it, and they got Bo Nix, and I was like, okay, well, right when they drafted him, I was like, okay, Brock Bowers was the like best thing after that. But if we didn't get Brock Bowers, because I thought that he possibly would have got drafted earlier. I mean,
yeah,
you know
I
what I
thought
mean?
he was going like 4 or
I thought,
5. Yeah,
I thought he was going to go earlier, but yeah, I thought that Bo Nix was going to fall to us or Penix. You know what I mean? But it's just crazy how things turn out.
Yeah, I mean, we look now down the road, and Kirk Cousins was never really healthy. They must have known that, and thus Penix. I criticized the pick at the time, but I mean, if you know that the guy who you just gave a bajillion dollars to is not actually going to be able to deliver, then you got to get some insurance. So that's what they did. So, okay, fine, whatever. We got to get our guy. So
definitely.
Let's talk about this because, fun fact.
How bad did you want Penix? No Diddy. So I'm assuming the daddy was no Diddy. So no. So I wanted Penix pretty bad, right? So if we were to go back to that draft, right, bro, I would. And this is just me. I would have picked Penix over Brock Bowers, but see, this is before we all seen how good Brock Bowers would have turned out, right? But Penix to me, I thought that he was the most NFL pro ready quarterback coming out of the draft, aside from Bo Nix, and that was just me.
Yeah. I liked Bo Nix a little bit more just because I worry about Penix and the pocket stuff. We'll see how it plays out in the pros, but I felt like he was too prone to hold the ball and stay in the pocket for too long. And, I think in the pros, you can take a lot of hits that way. I think that's part of the problem with Aiden. But definitely liked him, right? So you get what you get, right? I think this is it's important that we focus on getting, especially get the number one pick, focus on getting that quarterback. And the reason I say that is because a stone cold fact, this may be hot beavers, but this is a stone cold fact. 70% of the quarterbacks drafted number one overall are successful. 70%, guys.
And I know
a better sure bet.
And I know that some fans are going to say Jamarcus Russell. Okay, that's that one. Okay,
that's 8, 9, and 10.
That's
Pizzle said this.
That's just that they all can't be winners, right? But he was just that one. But I have a lot more confidence in Sanders or Ward than Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. For real. And Pizzle, if you want to hop on, bro, let me know. I'll send you the link. You can hop on. We can do it for sure anytime. But yeah, I just feel like we got to make that move, dude. We're the team that don't draft quarterbacks in the first round. We have like 3 in our history, I believe. It's like, you know, I know we've been burned before, but you can't just stop dating
Yeah,
get because you get that because the burn comes on.
we definitely have to, change the trend of the, classic Raiders where we, I get the old Al Davis way, right? Where we draft speed, the fastest, the like, the Terrell Pryor type, guys. I get it, and I love speed too, not speed quarterbacks, not speed, right? but yeah, Sanders and Ward, I feel like it's absolutely inevitable that we're gonna get either Ward or Sanders, because right now, as it stands right now, if we just lose, if we continue to lose these final games, right, it's guaranteed first or a second pick. And the way that I see it is that somehow if the Giants do have the first round pick, I got a feeling, my gut feeling tells me that they're going to go with Cam Ward. And we're
Hmm.
going to just land with Sanders. If we have the first round pick, I got a feeling that we're going to go with Sanders. Aside the fact, anyways, if we do have the first round pick, but me personally, now this is just me, guys. I'm just saying this here. I like Cam Ward just slightly better than Sanders. I would love to have either Sanders or Ward. Trust me, I would be happy with
Hmm.
Sanders or Ward. But the reason why I
Hmm.
like um, Ward better is because my only fear that I see with Sanders, and this is just me speaking here, is that I just hope that if we do draft him, is that if things go bad early with him, is that if
Hmm.
things don't go his way, right? That if he doesn't turn into a diva and we end up trading him in his third year, for a abundance of second and third round picks, and
Hmm.
or he has a like attitude, or like things like
Hmm.
that. I just feel, and it's just me, that when it comes to my maturity, that Cam Ward just has a slightly edge on that.
Hmm.
And this is just me, but I feel like Sanders though is the box office hit. Vegas, Sanders, tickets, sales, you know what I mean. But I also feel that his dad, Dion Primetime, prepped him for the showtime, the big lights, pressure,
Hmm.
all that,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
my gut tells me it's just I just feel like Cam Ward has a slightly higher ceiling, but
Hmm.
Sanders is more um, ready
Hmm.
out of the box.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Same assessment for me so far. No, I haven't done my deep dive analytically, and so I will be doing that just like last year and rating all the quarterbacks. And remember, called Bo Nix for you guys. So I'll continue to call and do that, and that'll come out later this summer or later in the year. It won't be summer
Right.
before summer, but yeah, like Cam Ward has a stronger arm. His arm is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Like um, just from you know preliminary stuff, looking at him, it's like he's doing some Mahomes level stuff where you're like, okay, there's not too many people who can do that. But I also watched him at Washington State, living up there, and the decision making can be questionable, right? I feel like Shador is a more solid decision maker, um, and more settled as far as what he does in the pocket and how he manipulates the pocket. They don't have a very good O line in Colorado, but he still makes that work. And so that's something that I think is important also. So, like I said, haven't done a breakdown on all the quarterbacks yet. And, my boy A Train loves some Dylan Gabriel. So I have to take a real close look at him because A Train is a smart dude. And his question is if we miss on Sanders, Do we go after Austin Jinty as a generational talent at like Barry Sanders esque to pair with Bowers and Dylan Gabriel, who we could get later in like the second
So
round?
that's assuming
What do you think
that
about that?
Cam Ward is off the board too, right? That's
Right.
that's 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 what I'm assuming here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so as much as I love, so I do like Hunter too, right? But I would have to go with Jenny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's who. So if we can't get Cam Ward or Sanders, and if they're there, I would go Jenny over
Travis Hunter.
Hunter.
Okay.
That's just me.
Interesting.
And then
Okay.
I don't really know too much, like I said earlier, about Gabriel, right? So I can't really make a fair assessment on him. So I don't want to be biased, you know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen more of Jalen Monroe than him,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to say, blah blah blah, this, and this.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna just go with I would pick Jenny over Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Interesting. Interesting. So I'm a no first round running back guy unless he is generational. Um, Something like 3 or 4 where we'd probably end up. I guess if we don't, I don't know. I mean that's the scenario, or we win a game and we drop into like 8 or something like that, 9, 10. That's still a little rich for me for a running back. I don't see the generational stuff from this kid. Maybe I'm missing it. Somebody in the chat, can you please explain to me why Austin Genty is being compared to Barry Sanders, which I
So
don't
I don't
think
see
is.
him as Barry Sanders. I see him more. So this is just me here. I see him more as a LaDainian Tomlinson type. That's
Oh
that.
man, okay, I'll take
But
that any
but
day, twice on Sunday.
you know what I mean? I mean, he ain't like him, but he kind of has the like shiftiness, like him, but nobody would be like LT, right? But I kind of feel like he could be a player like that.
Oh boy. Okay, so
And
LT.
then and
Okay.
then and then and then just real fast, Hunter, if Hunter does get drafted into the NFL, which he is, I believe he's gonna get drafted in as a corner.
I do too. Yeah, and then he'll, because it's more valuable as a position than a receiver. The most valuable positions are quarterback, and then pass rusher, and then corner and left tackle. Those 4 are premiums, and then anything else. Then you're talking about receiver. You know, a D tackle that could be a game changer. Uh, you know. After that, it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe running back, safety, linebackers, those guys. Eh, you know, tight end is probably more valuable than running back, to be honest, in this league. It's a passing league. I just don't believe in running backs in the first round. I think you get great running backs all
Oh
through the
yeah,
draft, and it's just like,
I
you know,
I definitely feel what you're saying, right, on that. But I'm just trying to like think off the top of my head, right? Like in the first round, if Ward is gone, if Sanders is gone, would you rather go Jalen Monroe, Genty, or Travis Hunter?
so
And
Milrow is not a first round pick to me. I
right.
don't even have
So
him on my draft board at this point. I don't think he's a passer of the football, which is what quarterbacks are supposed to do. So yeah.
So he ain't a first round pick. Same here too. And then I definitely would pivot. It would either be Hunter or uh, Jenny. So basically, like as of the other players in the first round, I mean, I don't really know much of the O line guys. Like
There's some guys.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah, there's some dudes. And for me, it would be like, let's go ahead and get that left tackle. If we're at 8 or something like that, and like Travis Hunter is gone, there's no way we're getting Travis Hunter at 8. He's gone in the first couple picks.
I think
And
Hunter's
both the
going
quarterbacks are gone.
to the Patriots, honestly, at a 3.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah, that would be the Patriot thing to do. Absolutely. So they probably go ahead and draft him, and he's probably gone. So like if we're at 8 or something like that, and one of those left tackles is available, we need to go ahead and you know take a look at that. In my opinion, preliminary thoughts, or just because of what we need, and the left tackle position being so important, so valuable. We've kind of got a preview of you know what happens when you have an aging left tackle who's not playing up to the same kind of level as you expected. With Colton Miller, and I love Colton, but I feel like we really just cannot afford to be in a situation where we don't have a strong left tackle to go with whatever quarterback we bring in. Um, you know, I would say one of the edge players, but I feel like we have the kind of strength at edge where we don't need to go that route. Um, but there's the kid from LSU, Will Campbell, and then trying to remember. From Texas, a kid from Texas, also looks like he's going to be a really good. You got the dude from Ohio State, Simmons, I believe. So there's some tackles that we can get to, some game-changing O linemen, and so I probably lean that way. But if Travis Hunter is available for some reason,
Yeah, so
you gotta pick him.
I'll just have to say this, I'm sorry, but if we did draft Hunter, and now this is just if Ward and Sanders was off the board, right? If we did a draft, Hunter, and if he was there, I would be happy with him if we picked him over Jenny. So
Genty.
yeah, Jenny. You know what I mean? So
So I've convinced him. That's good. Now, this is a good question. The liquor and Vegas lifestyle. I feel like that came up. Oh, right. There was a picture of our head coach all in that Vegas lifestyle at 3 a.m. on the day of the game. Did you hear about this?
Pierce
Mm-hmm.
was that the same night where Dion told him to draft his sons?
Draft this kid?
That night?
No,
Okay.
no. The word on the streets is that it was prior to that Panthers game at 3 a.m.
Oh, so this is after he beat Baltimore?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so he was feeling good and he got his little
Decided he's
swerve
going to
on.
be he's at the tables 3 a.m. before a game, allegedly.
Pierce was.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's more reason. See, that's one extra, the freaking canon right there. You got to be an example to your team. And I'm going to say this again. Do you see Andy Reid doing that? Do you see John Harbaugh doing that? Do you see the top coaches in the NFL doing that?
We had a coach that started work when he was a young head coach at 4 a.m. Started work at 4 a.m. His name was John Gruden. So that's not going to be good enough.
John Gruden said that he would only sleep 4 hours.
Yeah.
He said he only needed 4 hours of sleep.
That's probably not true, but okay. More power to you, John.
Yeah.
But so I agree with the airsoft that Sanders is smart, makes smart decisions, and Cam has some amazing ability. So following up on that.
So my my plant manager at my work, right? His son goes to Colorado State, same college as Sanders, right? And he always
Colorado
tells
then.
me, yeah,
It's
sorry,
Colorado,
yeah,
not
okay,
State.
yeah, sorry, okay,
No,
sorry,
the Rams.
I, pardon me. And he
Sorry,
always,
I lived in Denver for a while, so
yeah,
that's a big mistake. This is Colorado, not State. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry guys for that. So, and my plant manager is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, so he's not biased, at all. He's,
Mm-hmm.
honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we always talk about, Sanders and stuff because Raiders first round pick, Sanders, so, we talk
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, you know, I just want to, say, some, things about Sanders, right? So my kid, he goes to college and he sees Sanders, and aside from Sanders, he scores, he does a touchdown with his watch, the little Rolex thing, right? Um, he pulls up to college in his Lambo, right? All the kids, they're all, huddled around him his Lambo, but they're all, yeah, he's kind of a dick,
Mm. Okay.
he's kind of a jerk, and he parks in the handicap spot when he ain't supposed to park in the handicap spot. He like parks in the fire truck the fire truck parking zone, the like red curb, he ain't
Mm-hmm.
supposed to, but they're like
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
they don't say anything in the because he has the in entitlement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like
Right.
hearing all this, and he tells me, you know, and then he tells me, like hey, like Sanders is good, he's good,
Mm-hmm.
but he just kind of has, kind of maturity issues that he does have to, grow and work on.
So
You
this is what I'll say. I hear you. I think he's prepared for to play the game, and
Oh yeah,
every great quarterback that I've ever heard of
they're all
is
dicks.
kind of
They're
an
all
asshole.
jerks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're kind
they're
of
all
assholes.
assholes. Yeah. So I told
Like,
him the same thing. I said all
mhm,
great players just in general. They're all
yeah,
jerks. They're
yeah,
all
definitely quarterback
they
style.
kind of have little
You
assholeness
kind of
to them.
have to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like Rich
Yeah,
Gannon's not a nice guy. He's a little prickly.
yeah.
I mean, he walked into the Raiders locker room and like got rid of all the fucking games and pool tables and foosball and shit. Put like locked them up. He did that, right? So
Yeah.
kind of a dick. That's a dick move,
Yeah.
right? But like, it worked.
Mhm.
So you know, it is what it is there, right? Okay, we got an answer here about, and of course, my boy A Train. Thank you, A Train. Boise State Broncos running back finishes 2024 regular season campaign with 2,288 rushing yards, 28 touchdowns. He's a runaway leader in just about every conceivable rushing stat, and I think he had the highest PFF grade of any Heisman candidate, right? So, stats, yes.
No, he's good. No, he's baller, right? And there's a lot of people who believe, well, he should have won the like Heisman, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to tell you why Hunter won the Heisman. Not only did he play both sides of the ball too, right? Which is a big thing, but it's the strength of the schedule too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who he played, right? Um, I still have never seen any player have interceptions and multiple receiving touchdowns, big plays in the same game besides this guy. He's doing stuff that has never been done to Travis Hunter. So that kind of leans towards him winning it. And I get that, you know, he didn't have amazing stats, but he had amazing stats if you compare the fact that he did it on both sides of the ball, right? It's amazing that anybody could do that. Um, and it's a college award. It's about his college achievements. I think he's going to be a standout cornerback in the NFL. That's a very valuable position. Um, yeah, I will be watching some tape on this Genty kid as we get closer, and maybe I'll
You
change my opinion.
You definitely can't go wrong with either pick. It's definitely on what the team needs wants more. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Some people like Hunter more. Some people like Jenny more. It's all on what the team needs more. But to me, you
Hmm.
can't go wrong with either. It's a win-win.
So Pizzle says a D tackle. So you don't feel like we kind of are already doing well
Um,
there, Pizzle? Like, let me see what you think about that. Because I feel like there's not a huge need for us. I know you don't draft for need. Is there a D tackle where you're just like, oh my god, he's so stand out, we have to just pick him? Um,
maybe he sees the next Daryl Russell and or
right.
I disagree with drafting a defensive tackle in the first round. Maybe you're thinking in the free agency, maybe, or maybe in the
Like
later
Mason
round of the draft,
Graham, maybe. I think he's
maybe.
thinking about like Mason Graham.
In the first round, we definitely got to get a quarterback for sure. Definitely got to get a quarterback.
Yeah. If we miss out on a quarterback, then like I said, down with the left tackle idea. Um, Pretty much, or corner,
Yeah,
right?
Russell. Yeah, see. I just chimed in flashbacks right there to all the old school Raider fans right there.
God, Daryl Russell was the man, boy.
Yeah,
Boy,
Daryl
boy, boy.
Russell, man.
He was
Daryl Russell,
amazing.
dude. I'm telling you, man.
Woo,
Yeah,
dominant player, man. So that was uh that was nice.
yeah, it's
That
old
was,
school, man. Yeah.
yeah. Back when we used to pick well, Daryl Russell,
That was
Charles
before
Woodson, Tim
Al
Brown.
Al Davis went, little
He lost
senile,
it a little bit there. Yeah. Hey, he had a projector out and shit. I'm like, oh, did he just pull out a overhead projector? Like, oh my god.
Hey, you want to talk about old fashioned, right? The
That's when you're
old
like, oh boy, you might
projector.
be old. You might be old if you bust out an overhead projector to like
That's
fire somebody.
that's old school, man. Like I don't think I've seen one of those things
Been a while.
since I was in like seventh grade, dude. Or something like that. It's been a long
For
time,
real.
man.
Remember when all the stuff, the math teacher used to have the overhead projector and
Yeah,
shit, and
OLED
you like turn the
projector.
lights off and you
Yep,
doing notes like, oh yeah, that was great, man. It's good times,
a
good
long
times.
time ago, man.
We had the real film, right? They used to like watch movies and it'd be like on a reel and you have to like feed it through the thing and like, yeah,
Man,
man, that was crazy. Mm-mm-mm. I had
technology,
teachers,
man.
they didn't even know how to use that, so they used to like lean on us to do it because it was too technical for them.
Yeah,
So shout out to my teachers, man. Thank you.
yeah.
But okay, Intern has more. He says legendary Oklahoma State Cowboys and Detroit Lions running back Barry Sanders holds the FBS records for most rushing yards rushing in a single season, 26-28 and 37 touchdowns. I actually met him after that season, got his autograph. Oh my god. Yeah, he was, I don't think you can really do the comparison there. I get it. Really dominant player, but 26 is not 23 and 37 is not 28, and this was at Oklahoma State. Um, so we'll leave that there. But like I said, open because I have not watched tape on these guys. Open to having my mind change once I look at tape. Maybe it's a completely different thing once I see that, right?
He's he's good, right? But I feel like there's only one Barry Sanders. There's only one Joe Montana. There's only one Jerry Rice. There's there's only one Lawrence Taylor. There's only one Julius Peppers. There's
Mm-hmm.
you could compare them to them on the shallow play, right? But we can only hope that they could turn out to be like Barry Sanders. Yeah, it's a shame how he retired early, and like all that. But hey, if Jenny could pan out and to like be like him, especially if we were to somehow draft him somehow, hey, I would love for him to, to be like
Uh,
Cyberberry, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
if
like,
he's LT, it's good have done for me. LT was amazing.
yeah, you
If
know what
we
I
get
mean?
that, then okay, that's a whole nother thing.
You know,
But like I said, generational, right? Is he going to be generational for sure? David King, David King. Are you just trying to stir up all kinds of
so
trouble with this comment here?
salute
He says,
to David King Raiders, because so he actually posted the same thing
mm,
on my post. So I just want to say, Mr. David King Raiders, I saw your comment on my post and I didn't get a chance to comment back on your post. So I just want to say that I did see your post here. And so I see what you're saying here, right? With the car and all that. So I'm going to respond to your post now. So I'm going to respond to your post and your comment now. So if you want to bring back Derek Carr as a full time starter, right? And so this is what I am implying to what you're coming across to me. And if I'm wrong, please tell me so, please. So
mm,
if you're saying that we should skip out on drafting Ward or Sanders and just go with Derek Carr as a full time starter next year, if that's what you're saying, I strongly disagree. I feel like that train has run its course, and I get what you're saying by going with what your comment that you posted by saying that we haven't had a solid quarterback since we had Derek Carr since he left. Right? We had the dude who was on the 49ers and the Patriots, Jimmy
Jimmy
Garoppolo, right?
G.
Failure,
Horse
right?
ass.
Failure, right? I get it. Then all the guys after, okay, it didn't pan out with Gardner Minshew, right? It was failed project. All that was a failure, right? But we have our chance now to actually get a future gem prospect quarterback in Sanders or Cam Ward, right? And now, if what you're saying is that if we bring back Derek Carr as a bridge quarterback on the cheap, for a year, while a quarterback sits and learns the system and the speed of the game, I'm totally open to that option, right? I see that, right? Okay. But if you're saying, to bring him as a full-time starter, we shouldn't draft a rookie quarterback, get a running back, or Travis Hunter, O-line, stuff like that. I just don't see it, bro. That's just me. I beg to differ on that opinion there. I love me some Tyreek Hill too, right? Great,
Mm-hmm.
great guy, speedster, cheetah, right? Great, he's
Mm-hmm.
super awesome. I love Tyreek Hill, and John Gruden too. I don't see Gruden coming back. I would love John Gruden to come back. He is honestly my favorite Raiders head coach. That's just me speaking here. He's my favorite Raiders head
Mm-hmm.
coach. I grew up watching him the majority of the time of me watching the Raiders. That's why I'm saying that. But I just don't see it happening. I don't see Derek Carr coming back as a full time starter if we don't draft a quarterback. I just don't see that option. And that's just me speaking on that. But if I'm wrong, and I didn't read your question right or your post right, please say that I am wrong on that, and I will definitely retort to the question that you're asking. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, with this one, I don't know. Where do I start? Okay.
There's a
For
lot of ways you could slice that
mm,
pie.
mm, mm. Let's start with John Gruden, just because. Yeah, we'll go backwards. Um, Gruden, if we keep Tom Telesco and let him do his job and let Gruden be a football coach, uh, I would be in favor of that. I think Gruden is a very good football coach. Now, there's some issues with what he does as far as teams kind of fading at the end of the year. He's going to have to, make some adjustments, or there's something that's not clicking as we get later in the year. I don't know if people are catching up with the offense, or he's overworking guys in practice, or maybe not taking enough time to care about defense. I had a concerning comment that came from Max Crosby about how he felt like John Gruden was going to cut him because he was messing up the offense in practice. So there are some concerns there, but I think overall he seems to be a good football coach and not very good at being a GM.
He's a
Right?
great football mind, but he cannot
Mm-hmm.
pick players. And I know there's a lot of people who say, well, that was Mike Mayock, right? But John Gruden definitely had his hand in that too.
Come on,
And I
man.
love and I love John Gruden, but but if we were to bring him back, let him coach and let Tom Telesco do his thing. But Gruden is a great
Mm-hmm.
football mind. He can get players to play at their highest potential for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that he gets guys to. I mean, just listen to him talk. The passion that he has for the game is very clear. So yeah, Tyreek Hill is a great player. I doubt he'll be available. He'll probably get franchised. Um, A Train said earlier, and he's smart about that. T. Higgins is probably something that will be available. I doubt they'll franchise him. So he could be a receiver that we would bring in. And then we get to Derek Carr.
We cover this topic a lot, but I'm gonna let you, brother, preach on, brother. Especially on this one here too. Especially on this one,
I don't.
please.
I hate to do this because I like Derek Carr as a person, and I
I
still
like
root
Derek
for
Carr
him.
too, but sometimes
Right? He's one of those guys you
you gotta
can't
tell
hate.
people.
He's
You
just
just
such a
gotta tell
good
people.
guy.
But sometimes,
But he had 9 years here. It just the performances in big games, the throwing the ball into the ground on a fourth down attempt, like the lack of being able, like the red zone stuff. Like he was horrible in the red zone, like atrocious. Go back and watch
so
that Rams game.
man,
He tried to get Hunter Renfro killed. How do you make the same mistake with the stretching the ball and it goes out of bounds? Like happened to him twice. Cost us games. I I like Derek Carr, and he's not a bad quarterback. He's just not the guy who's going to win a Super Bowl. So what are we doing? I'm sorry. He requires a dominant defense, a dominant offensive line. He's not the same player he was before 2016 when he got injured. Okay, go back and watch the tape of him in 2016. He's navigating the pocket. He's running around. There's no fear. The dude is playing with an edge.
but
And then
brother, they're all gonna say that he never had a top 15 defense, right?
what is he doing with the Saints? They have a top 15 defense with
Thank
the
you.
Saints.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you.
And last I checked, they didn't make the playoffs in either of the seasons there. So that's not a great excuse. 9 years, man, 9 years. And great quarterbacks don't need dominant defenses. They don't. They just they carry teams to the playoffs at least. You could say that we made the playoffs twice. It's true. That's true. Once was 2016, and then after that, it was one time. One time. We got very lucky with kind of like who we ended up playing at the end of the season. We had a lot of quarterbacks on the other teams injured. Um, and I have my qualms about what happened in that Bengals game, but we did not win that game. We did not win that game. And I don't remember Derek Carr looking especially good there. So um, I hear you that we should have never let him go. I think we should have, just not the way we did. We needed to
Oh,
respect him
definitely.
as
Definitely.
one of the best players in our history, one of the best quarterbacks we ever had. The way he was dismissed by Josh McDaniels is another reason why I will fight that man on sight.
Definitely.
Anytime you want to get
Yeah.
it, Josh. Anytime you want to get it, bro. Anytime. Anytime.
It was
But
terrible, dude. You are hitting it perfectly, dude. I couldn't have said it better because we covered this topic so many times, and I understand the passion that people have for Derek Carr, and I brought this up like so many times. I have a friend who's probably most likely watching this right now. He's the most diehard Derek Carr fan I know, and we banner back and forth. Like this guy has Derek Carr rookie, like everything that you could think of with Derek Carr, and this. You say one bad thing about Carr, he's like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he's like that, you know. Like we were like Carr,
Yeah.
and we go back and forth, and but at the end of the day, we both know that it's just football. We don't ever take it to a
Hmm.
personal, thing like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but I will always say, and I'm going to say this one last time to all Raider fans watching, it was terrible how things ended with Derek Carr. Josh
Ridiculous.
McDaniels effed up. It was terrible.
Right. So did
Uh,
Ziegler. Why did we give
you
him a no
know,
trade clause? Like we should have been able to
you
trade
know,
him and get something back. We got nothing for one of the best players in our history. Right. He just walked away, and so of course that's gonna sting.
you
And
know
no
what I
one
mean?
is saying that Derek Carr is horrible. So that's a straw man argument. Not saying he's horrible, right? And comparing him to the quarterbacks after doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The reason it doesn't matter is because it's not about like how good other quarterbacks are, right? It's how good is Derek Carr? Can you win a Super Bowl with him? And I don't think you can. And so then you have to move on. Like you don't stay
Yeah,
in a marriage that's not
exactly.
good for you, that
Um,
you're unhappy because you're worried about whether the next 3 or 4 girlfriends are going to be as good
well,
as your
it's
ex-wife.
it's
You
it's
just keep going, bro. Like, right?
well,
Keep dating.
it's kind of like how when you get with your first girlfriend, right? You fall in love with
Mm-hmm.
them so much,
Oh,
right?
so
You know what I
much,
mean?
man.
And then once you break up with your first girlfriend, you're just heartbroken. And then once they
Heart.
leave and they're with that different person, you're always thinking, what are they doing? You want them back, all that stuff. That's kind of what it's like with and look, I'm not trying to hate on the Derek Carr fans, all that, right? But that's kind of what it's like, and but it was 9 years too long. He couldn't get the job done. We had to go on. It was terrible how things ended, and he what my boy just said was all perfect. It's look, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say it just like this. In the words of Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? And he couldn't get it done. And he went to the Saints. I wished him all the best on the Saints. I don't ever wish no bad things on him over there. And my boy, he has a car plushie. Stop it. and yeah, but I have my and to my boy who is a car fan right now, if you're watching this, he tells me, he's like, oh, well, Carr is the whole Saints offense. I'm sorry, it's not. It is Kamara. It is Kamara. It is Olave. It is, Carr has his little two, cents in there, but it's Kamara who's putting up the points and like all that. And I'm not saying that,
Mm-hmm.
hate on Derek Carr, but let's be real and come back down to earth. Who is the one cashing all the touchdowns and doing that? It is
Mm-hmm.
Kamara,
Mm-hmm.
and
Let's get some balance in here because I'm gonna bring in my boy Black, who
all
is
right.
a
Who is
car
a good Derek Carr
aficionado,
fan.
and let's see what he has to say.
Right. So just to all the guys watching who are thinking, we're just Derek Carr haters, we
Yeah,
got a guy
no.
here who thinks different, you know what I mean? Who will back up Carr. So we have some even stuff here, you know what I mean? So let's hear what he
So,
has to say.
we got to get the sound right for Black.
What
So,
we talking about? What Car do now?
Carr didn't do nothing, man. I see.
Nothing.
Look at you.
Nothing. So
Oh,
so
okay.
so I'll bring it up to the pace here. So a comment was dropped in here, right, saying that we should swallow our pride. And so from what I was getting from his comment here was saying, and please, if I'm reading your comment wrong, please correct me. But from what his comment, from what I'm taking from his comment is that we should not draft a quarterback, bypass all that, and just bring Derek Carr back and draft a different way. So I would love to hear your take on that. And then he's saying to try to bring in the cheetah Tyreek Hill and John Gruden.
Yeah, I think even for one of those things to occur, would all the stars would have to line up, more or less all those things to happen to occur. I'm not in a mindset that we should forego a quarterback to go chase Derek Carr. He is gone now. It's over. Like, it's kind of hard to recapture that lightning in a bottle again effect, especially once the fan base already kind of divided on that, and anything short of a Super Bowl wouldn't fill those shoes now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we should wait on him. If he was to become a free agent and it crossed our face, then I would be with that. But as far as just saying, well, we got the number one pick, unless we're gonna go out and go get Travis, and even with that, I think we should do that regardless if they go get a Carr or not. We should kind of like search for a quarterback if Travis is there when we pick. So I think it's a little far-fetched. I wouldn't go chasing it. Gruden, same thing. I mean, if it crossed our face, then of course, but that ship already sailed. They already kind of killed the momentum to all that. So there's no need to chase it because it's not gonna play out the way we want it to at this point. It's kind of like showing up to the party late when everybody leaving,
Well said.
I love your background. Just want to say that right now.
So
Ricky Henderson.
I just got to say, rest in peace to the Hall of Famer, the legendary Ricky Henderson, man.
Yeah,
I'm a
people don't know how much he meant to the Bay.
A's fan, so that's a
went to school there, high school.
Devastating blow, to the A's, you know what I mean, and that's it's sad, you know what I mean. Great player, man, and it's very, very sad, you know what I mean, to hear that. And when I saw that, you know what I mean, I was like, wow, you know what I mean. So I hope that his family, and all that is all right.
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to say that because he's a great player, man. It's really, like I said, two best players I ever saw in real life was Barry Bonds and Ricky Henderson. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you there, brother. Ricky Henderson, I think every kid wanted to be Ricky Henderson in the Bay.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can't tell me that I wasn't Ricky Henderson in the Bay. You still couldn't tell me I ain't Ricky Henderson in the Bay, right? Because baseball was my first love because of Ricky Henderson. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't really like baseball like that, but he made it my first love because of how he played the game. So yeah, shout out to his family. And I don't know, it kind of felt like a family because when I saw it, I went straight to denial.
Nah. Yeah, I'm like,
I didn't think it was actually
Ricky Henderson don't die.
Real at first. I thought it was fake at first, and then I actually dove deeper into it, man. And I'm like, wow, and then baseball now is so from my perspective, it doesn't seem as big as it was in the 80s, 90s, because it was a lot bigger back then in my eyes, seeing, Barry Bonds, Griffey Jr., Mark McGwire, Sosa, and seeing them, it was a home run era, right? But as much as I hated the Giants, you know what I mean? Barry Bonds was great, man. And from my time, he was one of the best guys, I've seen. I believe that the prettiest swing in baseball belongs to Ken Griffey Jr., but hitting wise, when it goes to home runs, it goes to Bonds. And I hate the Giants, but Bonds is a great player, man. So
yeah. I'm a Dodgers fan, so it's not easy for me to say it, but I'm gonna have to say that I think Barry Bonds is probably the best player to ever play baseball. And so
Yeah, I don't like the Giants either like that. But Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he went to the Giants, and
mhm.
then when we got to see him up close in the Bay, like how hard of an out that he is,
Oh man.
we knew that he was a real deal. Like that is he legit is like him too. So
Mhm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of history
Yeah.
out here in the Bay. That's why this has
Oh yeah.
affected us so much
Yeah.
because it reminds us of that original Oakland culture, and it's sad because
Yeah.
the year that the
Stoner,
A's
man.
left is the year that Ricky left. I mean, they named the
Yeah.
field after him and everything. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Usually, you get that done after you pass away. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He was a
They
living
was like,
legend for real.
we don't have to wait.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Ricky was different. That's why he talked about himself like that. He called himself Ricky and
Yeah.
talking in the third person because he knew how good he was.
Yeah. Great.
But let's reset. My boy Black is here. Let's reset real
Yeah.
quick, Nation. We started talking and kind of beginning this whole conversation, just kind of talking about the coaching situation.
Yeah,
Right.
about Pierce, about how so I was just, you know what I mean, and I'm just saying facts. I was just bashing the shit. I was on a whole tirade on him, man. I was just throwing haymakers on him, man, and I just don't see him coming back. I see a zero chance.
And that's funny because we worked our way up with percentages all
Oh
year
yeah,
long.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I'm like, I don't see how he can survive either. Matter of fact, I don't know how he even survived this so far unless there's some kind of plan in play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how he survived all this. And it's not like we see a light at the end of the tunnel. Like the light at the end of the tunnel is the draft pick, but we gonna have that regardless of who the coach is. You know what I'm saying? That ain't because of AP. I mean, I'm saying it's because of AP, but AP is not attached to that pick. You know what I'm saying? Like the pick is not attached to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a good point. We all talked about this. We don't want him managing the quarterback that comes in. I think that he mismanaged Minshew. I think that he mismanaged Aiden O'Connell. And I do not want to see that happen to a good young quarterback.
Everything you could think of that could be mismanaged. That dude. Yes, everything. You just check the whole box. Just yes, everything. Because
was it mismanaged? Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yes, just everything, dude. Like it's just terrible. And I was saying earlier too, he has not progressed at all from when he beat the Chiefs last year to earn the job to now. He has not progressed. He's not learned anything. To me, it seems like he hasn't learned anything at all, and he's not gotten better. And it's the same thing I hear on the same press conference every week. We got to watch the tape. We got to see the film. You know, it's like, dude, it's the same thing, and I'm tired of it. And as I was saying too, is that I just hope that now look, I love AOC, but I don't want him to come in here and win these final games so that our draft pick goes from 1st to 10th or 11th. Just lose these final games and get the 1st round pick.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and take our medicine. You know, sacrifice the pawns, and go ahead and win the war. Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because just losing now, you're winning for the future. And I get it. And I'm going to say this again. Well, win, lose, or tie, Raider shall I die. You win. I get it. I understand that. But we lost all these games so far. Why win these last few games that don't mean anything?
Yeah.
When it's going to ruin our chance.
12 daggers already.
But it's going to ruin our chance of solidifying a top 1st round pick if we win one game, it drops us back in the draft. and I'm scared that if we get AOC in the game, because AOC could definitely win us a game, and I
Mhm.
don't want
Probably
him.
not.
So
Mhm.
so it's like I would just start Desmond Ritter for the rest of this game and let the tank continue.
Don't we? I think we need to take a look at the young kid who hasn't had a chance to start yet. Just see what he has before the year is out, and Carter Bradley should get a start,
Why not,
or
right?
like three
I
starts.
I don't blame you at all. So if this was me, I would just say sorry, AOC is still injured. You know what I
We
mean? You know what I
don't want
mean?
to rush him back.
Yeah, you
I
know what I
mean,
mean? I
yeah,
would
let
put
it.
him on 4-game injured reserve, you know what I mean, or something like that, for the rest of the season, come on, man,
Like, oh, he
and
tweaked it in practice. IR. Oops, darn. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna
because
do?
AOC does have that dog in him to where he could
Hmm.
definitely
I don't
win,
like it.
you
Damn
know
it,
what I mean?
AOC. Just for this once, can you
You know,
stop it?
and I have heard some rumors that I haven't seen that Mark Davis wants to win out these last few games, right? So I don't know how much substance of truth there is to that, but I'm really hoping that that's not true, right? And we've gotten this far, we've been terrible this far. Just continue being terrible for this final ride, right? We're on the last part of this roller coaster. The ride's almost
Yeah.
over. Just
It,
finish it
it,
out.
the ride ain't about to get all smooth now, bro. I mean, trust me. AOC, as much as dog as y'all think he got, that dog ain't the same dog this year because of circumstances, whatever, whatnot. I don't expect him to come out there and do anything different than what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be he'll be he'll be he'll be good if he can finish the game at best to me, but
Mm.
um you don't have to worry about neither one of these quarterbacks, bro. Like we're gonna continue to do what we do. Now, in the event we do win a game, this is not the time to figure it out. Like, who cares if you tank now though? Like if you found yourself in this position and two games you get the number one pick, nobody's caring that you're tanking at this point. It's a problem in week 10 when we talking
Mm-hmm.
about that. Week
Mm-hmm.
11 when we talking about that. When it's still a quarter of the season left, at
Right.
least. You know what I'm saying? That's a difference. So don't
Mm-hmm.
try to figure it out now. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
they can figure it out. But
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying is don't figure it out now. But AOC is
Absolutely.
not the answer. That boy hurts still. Yeah, he got a bruised knee, bruised bone, or whatever. He should be good to go. But that don't take away the fact that he can't run away from nobody.
Right.
They're still gonna
And I want to,
apply more
yeah,
pressure.
I want to address this from Raider Ryan. The reason why you're seeing the difference between Tankathon and other mocks is because Tankathon takes the strength of schedule for the entire season.
Right.
They look ahead, not just the teams we played so far, but for the entire season, and they continue to formulate that. And that's really how they decide who has the number one pick. And so they are correct. If we lose out, we will have the number one pick because they're looking at the total strength of schedule, and there's not enough games left to really make huge changes there, right? And so, yeah, just to kind of answer that question for you, right? So losing out does mean something.
Yeah, and then I don't want us to just, say we do win the next game or something, then we fall back to the 9th or the 10th pick, and then we do got to trade, some draft capital to go up. You know what I mean? To trade, for Sanders Award, which I would be so furious that we would have to do that when we're
Yeah,
already in the spot where we're just, you know what I mean?
that'd be
We're,
Mhm.
terrible.
you know what I mean? We're just doing bad. And then going back to AOC and why I don't want him to actually to be starting in no further games, because when I was watching that Chiefs game, it was so close, man, where he came in and we almost beat the Chiefs, man. And I was like, God damn it. You know what I mean? And
yeah, don't do that to yourself though, bro. Don't do that to yourself. That's fool's gold because that's a conference game. We know them. You know what I'm saying? We familiar with them. So we damn near gonna play a tight game regardless. Like, I mean, like that just shows us how tight we are with them that we could kind of go in there with anybody and compete. You know what I'm saying? Just something about the Chiefs. But aside from that game, and you look at his body of work, I don't see nothing that jumps off the map that makes me say he can go in there and dominate a game. I haven't seen it. Not this year for sure. I haven't seen it.
Well, that's definitely your opinion, and I definitely respect that. But I feel like he put up a good game, against the Chiefs, right? And we almost won. And I get it. We're in the same conference. We play the Chiefs twice, right? But any of our guys going forward, I feel like AOC gives us the best shot to win a game aside from Connor Bradley or Riddler. So that's why I would rather have AOC be benched or hurt for the rest of the season. And
we haven't even scored over 20 points with him. So like,
yeah, I remember. Hold on, I got something to say about that. I remember when they said that our offensive coordinator was horrible and needed to be replaced, and then he got replaced by the Turners, and we scored less points now than we did. So that's funny.
I don't get that, right?
No, it's just so much, man. Just so much. There's just so much bad. You know what I mean? Happening. You know what I mean? But me, and this is just me here saying, fans and guys out there who is watching this here, my whole take is that I don't want AOC to be in any game going forward because I feel like me here, I'm just saying this again, because it'll jeopardize us retaining and keeping a higher pick here. Because I feel like with AOC in the game, it definitely has a higher risk of us winning going forward rather than Desmond Ritter or Connor Bradley. And I feel like
I agree with that.
Desmond Ritter is perfect for the tankathon to just keep it going. He is perfect for it.
Let boy be fumbling and throwing some picks where you like, what are you doing?
Let him go.
We're gonna get that boy waived.
I'll tell you something.
Let him go.
Okay, so I saved this one from Airsoft because we have our resident Kirk
Go
Cousins
ahead, brother,
fan.
because I have been waiting on this one. I have been waiting on
My short answer is no.
Danny Dimes, so I'll just wait.
I'll wait. Okay. So this dude is a Kirk Cousins fan. He say no. He done, huh?
I'll go last on this take. So
okay, so like if we're talking about as a bridge, and it's interesting because like usually you actually are better in the second year after recovering from the Achilles thing. So it's possible that he kind of returns back to form next year. So it's interesting as a bridge. We still need to draft a quarterback, so I'm assuming Airsoft feels that too. He seems like a smart dude, but like, would I hate it? I don't know, man. I don't know if I hate it as the bridge. I think Minshew is going to be gone. And we're going to need a veteran. So I don't know. What would say you, Black?
I don't like that from Mr. You like that.
Okay. Touche.
I don't like it. I mean, like, it's almost like trading in a Toyota for a Honda. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got two of the same. Sure, you can probably get a better model in one or the other, but they're pretty much, it's not like you going from a Honda to a Lambo or a Honda to a Maserati or something like that. So it doesn't really matter, like, to me, like, is it cap friendly? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I care about at that point. Is it cap friendly? Because either one of those quarterbacks are just going to be veteran quarterbacks. That's a bridge quarterback for our franchise quarterback. And I don't know if Kirk Cousins want to play that position because I'm sure in his mind he a whole starter. You know what I'm saying? And he earned to think that. You know, sure, you got the injury. You usually take a year, and then a second year you bounce back and be right back where you were again. This man ended up not being able to finish the season, so I'm sure that's going to have a knock on the confidence. But the type of personality that he has, he'll come back next year with a chip on his shoulder, especially if Atlanta releases him after they did what they did to get him.
That looks like that's going to happen. He's going to get released, which means that big contract is gone. And then, you know, if he, like I said, like you're saying, if it's quarterback friendly like a cap friendly contract, I mean, or whatever, then and we're looking at him as a bridge. Don't hate it, I guess. What say you, Western?
All right, so first off, let's give a shout out to Kirk Cousins' agent, man, who gets in the bag, dude. Because man, dude, whatever quarterback is out there, I will be calling Kirk Cousins' agent right now, dude. Because his agent,
I don't think he has an agent. I think he represents himself.
Really? Well, dang.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is
that's
smart,
even more
man.
impressive.
Dang, that is impressive, man. Because that guy just gets the bag after bag, dude. So I give him props on the way Kirk Cousins sets himself up to be financially stable and getting the bag every single year. So I give him props on that. So I just gotta say that right there. Second off, he got waived because he played us and we exposed him, dude. And he did so bad, you know what I mean? He played us and like yeah, the like Falcons won, right? But I felt like he did so horrible, and then he played us that the Falcons expected him to do so much better, which he didn't perform up to expectations. They canned him. They said, "That's it. That's enough. It's Penix time." So they waived him, and he's gone. So now, when it goes to Kirk Cousins, just like how Black said, if it's on a friendly contract deal, I'm all in for that. On a friendly bridge deal for a if we do get Sanders or Cam Ward, yes. If it's for a bridge quarterback. Now I'm old school. I like to sit a guy, have him sit and learn the system, learn the speed of the game, and then throw them in after. I like to do it the way, you know, like Packers do it. You know what I mean? Where they sit and they learn, because when they sit and they learn and you throw them in, they're ready to go right out the gate. You know what I mean? So there's other quarterbacks that are available in the free agency aside from Kirk Cousins. You got Justin Fields. There's Cousins, how we just said. There's Sam Darnold. There's your boy here, Winston. There's Aaron Rodgers, and then there's my boy, the rocket scientist, you know, Dobbs, right? So if I had to pick, you know, out of all of these guys here, you know, so I would go me here as a bridge quarterback to have a guy sit and learn from, now keyword learn from. It would be either Kirk or Darnold on a contract friendly deal. But if we're trying to now if it's not on a learning aspect, then I would go Fields, Winston, you know, or that's how we'll go with that. But so before I end this here, back to the whole thing on our guy Ward or Sanders learning, right? I would have to throw Aaron Rodgers into that, because Rodgers is intelligent. I get it, he fell off, right? He is not the same, right? But Sanders and Ward could definitely learn from him, from Rodgers being a bridge guy. But I get it, Rodgers is definitely a shell of himself. But all the guys would have to be on a contract friendly deal.
I worry about Aaron Rodgers here. Just like,
I mean, I don't see it happening, right? But I'm going by if a guy would sit and learn aspect of it by watching and sitting on the sideline and having Kirk Cousins or Sam Darnold or Rodgers talking to Cam Ward or Sanders on the sideline, you know what I mean? And they're like sharing info, you know, and all that. That's
I hear
how
you.
I would go with that. But if it's not going to go on that aspect, then I would go Fields or Jameis Winston.
Okay, so I hate Fields. Sorry, I'm not a
And I'm
Fields guy.
going those two over my boy Dobbs. You know what I mean? And I love Dobbs too, but I would have to say, Jameson, Winston, and press me on the Browns. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't
Jameis
think that
Winston.
the Browns would bench him, so early like that. I thought they would actually have him ride it out, but
Yeah, inside the locker room and as a person, Jameis Winston's kind of special. I think that he is one of those people that has a really, really strong spirit about him. A positive kind of guy. Um, Definitely will try to help as much as possible. Has some skill, so it's really interesting. I'd like to see Jameis get that opportunity as as he's kind of gotten to this place where he's probably not going to be a starter anymore. But so that'd be interesting. I don't like Justin Fields. I don't think he's a person who throws the football very well, which is what quarterbacks are supposed to do. And so I'm not really for that. Um, Dobbs is interesting. I don't think he can make it through enough games. He seems to get injured or fall off completely. Like he starts off hot and then something happens. I don't know. And so not really feeling that one. But Aaron Rodgers, if he's willing to teach, like I remember his reaction to Jordan Love.
Yeah, he was kind of salty.
I don't remember him really kind of mentoring Jordan Love, but if he's willing to mentor, that's different. That's my concern that he would not be in that kind of mode. And I gotta have something to prove instead of trying to be a mentor. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that one. Right, we do have to find a bridge, though. Right,
definitely.
Another subject here. Right, we talked about Genty, and if we do somehow win a game and fall a little bit, is Genty the way to go, or would you like Pizzle? Pizzle was saying we should get a D tackle.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
I try to laugh at that comment, but it's just I'm just trying to grasp my head on where he's coming from with that. So that's all.
I think he likes the kid from Michigan. That's my thought, that he probably likes the kid from Michigan.
Okay, well,
thinks he's a name changer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But like I would probably lean towards left tackle. I don't understand this thing with Genty. A-Train's been trying to educate me on why he's the dude. He says he's close to beating Barry's record. He thinks he's dominant. He would draft him. The Cowboys would probably grab him. If we don't, so that scares me because we shouldn't be thinking anything like Jerry Jones. But he says we get the 2025. I think he means Bo and not Boo. Bo Jackson, who says no. I'm hearing Bo Jackson, and you said LT, and then somebody said Barry Sanders. Like,
so
wow.
There's a different back. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now, but he's like a second or third rounder back, and he's like a big dude who is like Bo Jackson type / Marshawn type esque. I can't think of his name right now, but I don't see Jenny as a Marshawn or Bo Jackson type. Maybe A-Train means on the speed and athleticism side of that aspect, but like he could definitely truck and like he has power, right? But I see him more as a Tomlinson type guy, because I don't want to reach that high as Barry Sanders because there's only one Barry, right?
Yeah.
but hey, I do get to what he's saying, to where he could be that athletic freak like Bo, right? But there's only one Bo Jackson too, right? And so that's but I get his aspect. I just me. I don't like to compare players to certain guys like that.
Some guys are just out of different league. There's only one Ricky Henderson, right? There's only one, Barry Sanders, right? There's probably
only one
Bo
Jordan.
Jackson.
You know what I mean? There's only one
Right.
Kareem Abdul. You know what I mean? There's only one.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
right. And so, like, I look at this draft itself. Like you talked about other running backs, the kid from North Carolina. I mean, he's a freak, right? Like, why is he so much better than the kid from North Carolina or the kid from Tennessee, right? The Samson kid, or even the Oregon's running back. Shout out to the Ducks. A-Train, why is he much better than Jordan James from Oregon? Right.
So I will back up A-Train on this. If you do watch his like tape and his film and stuff, you know, he does have some like holy cow, like wow, you know, that's
okay.
That's pretty darn impressive.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to like hold back on my cursing and stuff on that, but yeah, he does have
okay.
you know, some like he does have some, like holy cow, you know,
some what the F moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But like I said, I'll say it again. I will watch tape, and I may change my mind.
So I'll just say that
in the first round.
If there was no Travis Hunter, he would definitely get the Heisman. Like if there was no Heisman there, if there was no Travis Hunter, he would definitely have the Heisman.
Okay. And then we talked about the rumors of should we miss on Shador, that we pick somebody else in the first round, and then look at getting Dylan Gabriel.
Okay. Sorry.
Instead.
Okay. So Yeah. Sorry. See, I apologize. I asked who was at the door before that person even knocked. So I apologize.
All right. So yeah, the thought was like it's gonna be, rumors are that Brady likes Gabriel to be able to execute things. He is tied for fourth in NCAA history in total touchdowns, seventh in total yards, eighth in passing yards, and eighth in passing touchdowns. And that's in NCAA history. So dudes did some things. Have you got a chance to look at Dylan Gabriel at all, Black? Oregon's quarterback? Black? No? Okay, we'll come back. Did you get a chance to look at Dylan Gabriel at all?
No, did I get a chance to look at him?
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't. I'm not like the biggest college head. Like I watch college a little bit, but especially only like during the playoffs, like a lot of casual fans, I guess. So for me, if a person gonna have to literally jump off the page in order for me to be like, oh yeah, like so for me, I don't know. I can't give an honest assessment about it. I just can't. I don't know. I just know it's just not generally good to go chasing after a running back in the first round. I just know that. But I mean, like,
good take.
But if he won't be there in the second round when you get to you got to make a business decision.
Yeah, I think the decision is pick somebody else. So Gabriel, I think I have to take. Obviously, I haven't done my quarterback dive. I will be going through and doing analytics on all the quarterbacks. He just seems like there's some limitations to his physical ability that could kind of show themselves more in the pros, right?
Right.
Don't think he has a super strong arm. He's a little short. I think he's like 6 foot even or something like that.
So
Which is not too short, but it's like pressing it, right?
So I just heard about his height, right, which is exactly what you said, but I haven't watched no film on him, so I can't give an honest assessment on him, like I said earlier. But I'm gonna just say this one more time for all the fans that are just who just tuned in here. So on Chat Sports, Mitch Orentz did say that if we do pass up on Cam Ward or Sanders, that it's a guarantee. Book it. It's signed, sealed, and delivered that we will get Gabriel as our quarterback. So that's
supposedly Brady likes him.
Yeah, so that's pretty big for him to say, as that's like a guaranteed thing. So Brady must have been had his eye on him, and they might have been in contact. So we'll see how much truth there is to that, but no one will know until draft day. But I just got to say that because if Mitch Orentz is gonna come out and say that, right, there's somebody in his sources that he knows that, or something that he knows with the Raiders insiders, that is sharing that with him to share that with us. I think that that's kind of big news.
I think it is also, absolutely. And it just proves how smart my boy A-Train is if he agrees with Tom Brady on quarterbacks. Or Tom Brady is not good at picking quarterbacks. We'll figure that out. And A-Train is not as brilliant as he thinks he is.
Hey, we'll see, man. So there was a question that was in the chat. So I don't know how to how to bring the questions up on the chat here, because I try to
see if I can help you with that. Yeah. Let me see if I can change that. Which one?
There was a question earlier. It says, who do you think is going to be our next head coach? It was somewhere on there.
Okay, let me try to pull it up. But go ahead. Let's address that, I guess. Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see.
So I'll just start here, and that's very easy and simple. Anybody is better than Antonio Pierce.
Damn.
Okay. I could go to Oak Grove High School and get their freaking Silver Creek High School. I'll go to freaking Andrew Hill High School. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, but in all seriousness,
come on, man.
Jokes
De Anza
aside. Yeah, De Anza, man. I'll go to Wild Tech. You know what I mean? Get something.
Wow.
Nah, but look, look. I'm gonna just be honest. He's just unfit for this job, and there's so many coaches out there that is better fit than him right now. And I'm gonna just repeat what I said earlier. In the AFC West, you got Reed, you got Jim Harbaugh, and then can't think of the Broncos guy off the top of my head right now, because I'm just thinking about
Sean Bong,
right? And then you have the Kmart Blue Light Special Dollar Tree coupon, WIC food stamp, Antonio Pierce. Okay, and that ain't gonna cut it here in the AFC West, right? And his rah 6'4" Impala Air Force Ones, gotta study the tape, violence, ill intent, gotta study the film, all that stuff. He sold everybody on that. I blame him for winning that Chiefs game. I blame Max Crosby for saying trade him if we didn't keep Antonio Pierce. We should have gave Jim Harbaugh a shot. Should give him a phone call. I don't want to hear, well, we didn't have a quarterback. Jim Harbaugh would have never came. Money talks, cash talks, money talks, and
Okay,
we should at least
I
give
never
him an
covered this.
interview. And
Yeah.
there's so much here, you know what I mean? And Pierce is just, he has not learned, he's not grown. As look, I have seen zero progression from him, and I know I'm beating a dead horse by saying the same thing over, but I just want to make it clear, you know what I mean? Like this is why I see him not returning next year. And I'm gonna just say some names here as head coaches, right? So
Mhm.
Bill Belichick was, but can't now because he's the head coach of North Carolina now, right? And then you got Ben Johnson, you got Mike Vrabel,
Mhm.
you got Todd Monken, who's the offensive coordinator on Baltimore. You got Cliff Kingsbury,
Mhm.
who would be a better fit than Antonio Pierce. He has more head coaching experience. You got Joe Brady, who's the Bills'
Mhm.
offensive coordinator, great offensive coordinator. You got Bobby Slowick, the Texans' offensive coordinator. No. Look, I know a
Mhm.
lot of people say, "Well, the Texans, their offense is up and up," but he's still better than Antonio Pierce. And then Frank Smith, the Dolphins OC. Um,
Oh, I noticed you didn't say Ben Johnson.
he was the second guy I said.
Oh, you did say Ben. Okay, I missed it. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ben Johnson. Yeah, and then
Mhm.
who's the Dolphins defensive coordinator right now?
It's a good question.
I would rather have him. He was the guy. No. I'm sorry. The previous Dolphins head coach, who's a defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. He's even better.
Oh yeah, Brian
Um,
Flores. Yeah.
the Broncos defensive coordinator, who looks like a Bronco horse, is even better than Antonio Pierce. I can go on and on and on, and this is just because
Vance Joseph.
yes,
Go ahead.
there's just so many coaching candidates out there that is better than Antonio Pierce, and I don't care what anybody says. This is my take and my opinion. He's just not set for this team, and at the end of the season, he's going to get 86. And if you guys are too young to know what that means he's going to get kaboshed.
The kibosh, yes, the kibosh.
Yeah.
Gonna sleep with the fishes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say some things, and they may be controversial, but I'm gonna say them. I'm glad we did not hire Jim Harbaugh. I know that they're 9-6, and I expect that they will be a competitive team for the next couple years. And then I expect that the locker room will fall apart and revolt against him, as they always do. Um, he has a personality problem. I need people to go back and listen to what Doug Baldwin and Richard Sherman have to say about him. That's all I have to say. Okay. Um, not the guy I want leading this team. Okay. I'm also out on Ben Johnson, guys. Um, Ben Johnson doesn't have enough head coaching experience, and I've seen this movie before. Now he may end up being great. We don't have room for that. We need to get somebody who has done the job and knows how to do it well already. We don't have room for another failure head coach. This is our chance to get a top quarterback. We need to bring somebody in who we know for sure can do the job. And Ben Johnson doesn't have experience. I think he was like a tight end coach, a quality control, got himself up to OC, and now did a good job there. But then like he's never been a head coach. I don't think at any level. And so no for me on that. Okay. If you don't have head coaching experience, go ahead and swipe left because we're good. Okay. That's how I feel about it. So hate me if you want. That's how I feel. No Harbaugh. Glad we didn't get him. Dude destroys the locker room. Richard Sherman switched sides of the football to get away from him. All right. Um, yeah. Okay. So no for me on that. And you can hate me if you want, but that's how I feel. All right. Um, I think it's going to be interesting who we bring in. Um, I think if it's Dion, then obviously the coordinator is going to be the big deal. Who's the OC that we bring in, right, to run things. And I will be doing kind of a breakdown on the different offensive philosophies that the NFL has out there, so guys can have a clear understanding of what an offense is designed to do, and what type of players you need to have in it in order to execute that offense. I think there was a huge mismatch between Getsy and the players that we had to execute the offense. I think the only thing that really fit was Minshew, and everything else was just kind of jammed, square peg, round hole kind of thing. I think we did not have zone running backs, and we ran a zone scheme. Our line didn't seem to really excel at zone. Um, so, I think it's important that we have an understanding of what an offensive system is meant to achieve, what type of players fit in it, and why they do or don't fit with what the Raiders have on the roster. So I'm going to be doing that along with breaking down the quarterbacks as we get closer to the offseason here. Okay. But I want to see who we end up with.
So just real fast here. I just gotta say, this is why I see our podcast is great. Just because we're all fans of the same team, right? We all bring different thoughts here. Like I like Harbaugh. He has his own take on Harbaugh. We all have our own pieces, and like bits, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ultimately think at the end of the day, I think it's going to be Mike Vrabel. That's
Vrabel that's a really interesting. But I like that as a pick.
That's who I think it will be, because the connection with Brady and he's an experienced coach. He
Successful.
He took a crappy Titans team and turned them around. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
he Tannehill, like he turned Tannehill around. He whipped him up. You know what I mean? And I know that there's a lot of fans, and I'll be fast here. A lot of people will. I'm tired of the whole Patriot thing, right?
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
He's not a Patriot kind of. He doesn't run their system offensively or even really defensively. He's his own person. He didn't go and hire a bunch of Patriots to add to his staff. He's a different animal. I feel like, and my dad said this the other day. I feel like Mike Vrabel is what AP wants to be when he grows up. Right.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. And one last thing, I'm gonna just say about Antonio Pierce, and I'll stop bashing him. Okay, I promise. Look, Antonio Pierce is a great player on the field when he was a player, right? But the guy can't coach.
Playing coaching different.
Yeah,
playing coaching different.
Different. He was a great player.
Very different.
Great. On the Giants, great. Champion, all that stuff. But you know what I mean? It's different when you're on the sideline, you got on the headset and you're trying to coach a team.
A-Train's funny. He said we're still paying Gruden. Maybe he'll come back and coach for free.
Hopefully. I mean, he loves the game that much. Maybe he'll take a WIC coupon. Yeah. Blue light Kmart special.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, hey, I get it, but the Gruden thing, the card thing, I do want him to come back and play and retire as a Raider. That'd be awesome. Hopefully he.
You know what I mean?
Do that.
I could see that happening. You know what I mean? But
sign a 1-day contract.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That'd be cool. Kind of to bury that hatchet, because for me that was Josh McDaniels, not the Raiders. That made
So
that move. So
one final thing about Derek Carr, I got to ask you guys because I'm pretty sure it was on the last live that we talked about this here, and I just gotta confirm that I heard this right here. So I'm pretty sure I got Black's answer on this, but I just want to ask him one last time, and I want to ask you two also. So I just want to make sure when we brought this up, so we said that if so I just want to, so if I remember correctly, we had a thing about Herbert and Carr, right? We're both of you guys saying that Derek Carr was better than Herbert? I just have to just make sure I heard that correctly.
okay, let me say this clearly. The pre-2016 Derek Carr was much better than Justin Herbert. Yes.
Okay.
I think Herbert is overhyped. He will not win a Super Bowl. He just doesn't make plays when it matters. He just kind of like, he's a glorified game manager, in my opinion.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, I've been saying he's been overrated since everybody kept trying to say he was the best thing since sourdough bread. I mean, like they were talking about how the numbers is Hall of Fame-ish in the first couple of years and all that. And I'm like, I don't care about none of that. How does that translate to wins? And then when it came down to him and Derek Carr head to head, he didn't win. And then so even since then, Derek Carr his trajectory ain't even going up. His trajectory is actually going down. And they're on the same level. Like I won't say they're on the same level now because the Saints are not doing as good, but they're in the same boat. I mean, like, but Derek Carr, we've seen Carr play up here. I'm talking about wins and losses. Justin Herbert the jury's still out, and it's going to be terrible because the type of coach he plays is like a game managing coach. So I don't see this big burst of hoorah or hype behind this guy. Like, I think he's more hyped than anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not to say he's not good, but I just think he's overrated.
There you go. Yeah, I agree.
Like, if he played for us, we would see who he is for real.
Okay, I want to address this comment real quick. DJ Loaded, thank you for being here. Right? First off, love to have fans here all day. But I will say, I don't like the if this is what you think, you're not a real Raider fan thing. Okay? Because seriously though, like, I think that's not a judgment you can make, especially off of your person's opinion on what players.
Yeah, look,
being a Raider fan is much deeper than that, bro. Like,
yeah, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Just like how I asked them about the whole Derek Carr thing and Herbert. I hate the Chargers, but I think that Herbert is a good freaking quarterback. So I don't mean to like jump back on this, but I'll go back to this here. But where I'm going with the whole Herbert thing is that I believe that so pre-injury Carr, I could definitely see Herbert and Carr on the same tier, right? But I feel like well, definitely now because Carr's kind of on the downside now. Herbert has more of a higher ceiling now. So I was just asking that just to make sure that I heard correctly from our last podcast we did. So I just had to just ask that.
Mm-hmm.
But back to this guy's here. To that guy's question, about the whole car thing and not being a real fan, right? We all have our different of opinions, right? And just like how we just did now, you know what I mean? And that's not fair, to like say because you want a car back, you're not a fan. That's not justified
you guys are being hella nice. Like, what's a prerequisite? What's a prerequisite of a real Raider fan? I mean, because I could easily say you're not a real Raider fan if you've never been to the Coliseum in Oakland, right? I could say you've never been a real Raider fan if you ain't never been to a game, right? And we know that's not true. We know that's not a true statement, but you could qualify that like that if you really wanted to. So I don't understand when people. Matter of fact, I know what it is. When people do that, they're really trying to inflame you and also isolate you. Like the thing is, if you want Carr back, it just means you liked Carr as a quarterback for the Raiders. Whatever happened to once a Raider, always a Raider. So now you can't double back to being a Raider if you, especially under the circumstance that we got rid of Carr under. Like, he didn't deserve that. So even just that alone, he deserves to come back if he wanted to come back, just based on that alone. But I don't know. These Raider fans, these new Raider fans, these Las Vegas Raider fans, I don't know.
Hey.
Well, y'all, I mean, it only started coming out the woodwork since the Raiders went there that this division is such the division is so divided like it is. Like, it's crazy.
So it's true.
Not all Vegas Raider fans, not all of them. I'm just saying since the Raiders moved there.
So Derek Carr has definitely split the fan base in half. And I know some fans that are now Saints fans because of Derek Carr, and they follow them, there, just because of Derek Carr, you know what I mean? And they could choose whatever team, follow whatever guy they want, that's their choice, right? But for somebody to say that they're not a fan because whoever they want on a team, you know what I mean? That's not even close to being fair. You know what I mean?
And I'll go further. I'll go further than that. I will say that if Derek Carr was brought in to be a bridge quarterback, right? We talked about those bridge quarterbacks that are possibilities. He's a valuable candidate for that. One of the smartest quarterbacks in history. He will teach whoever is the young player. He has the kind of work ethic and durability. Like, he's almost never hurt. He's hurt this year, but he almost didn't miss almost in games with the Raiders. So he's a viable bridge quarterback at this point. Do I think he's a start? Obviously not. I don't think he's a starter. I think you heard me earlier, but I think as a bridge starter, right? I've heard of worse ideas. I'd rather have him than Dobbs. Sorry.
I ain't even. Hey, let's be real. You know what I mean? I can't even. You know what I mean? Hate. You know what I mean? Truth is truth. Real is real. You know what I mean? And to this person's comment here, he says, "Yep, 2016 Derek Carr was elite. Yes, he was. He was. So I'm not sure if that was. I'm pretty sure that was directed at me, for the like Herbert thing. But what? I'm sorry if I have a difference of opinion, but I just like Justin Herbert, and I see him different than my other podcasters here. You know what I mean? That's just how it is, but it doesn't change my fact on how I see like Carr, like he's good too. You know what I mean? It's just after he got injured, he just wasn't the same. You know what I mean? But I strongly think that Herbert is good. You know what I mean? And it sucks that he's on the Chargers. You know what I mean? And that's just how I feel about it.
Fair opinion. I think some people have an opinion about Kirk, and Riots thinks his arm is shot. I think actually that's because he's not able to push off on that Achilles, but I hear you. It doesn't look the same, right? So we'll see what happens there. And then Aaron Rodgers is interesting. I don't know if I can. The thought about him and DA
He's a
and what they
bad
may have been
man.
what they were planning here, though, I think that maybe there was some backdoor stuff between him and Devontae that makes me not.
It's all good,
know
brother.
about
I
that.
see your comment. It's all good, brother.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah. So
Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna teach nobody nothing. Plus, anyway, who would want to learn after him? You know what I'm saying? Like his personality is not
He's gonna
the most
teach you how to go
personable.
hide in darkness for 20 days in a fucking tree. Sorry for cursing. how he does it in the off season, how he goes in darkness and he like
Yeah, I mean,
he
I
turns
get
off
that
his
part.
phone.
That part I understand.
yeah,
That part I
no,
understand. It's
Outside
just
light,
it's just a passive aggressive attitude that you know what I'm saying. And I'm not even knocking him for having that, but he like that with everybody. So
yeah.
that's
We
just
talked
his
about this
personality.
earlier.
So what up, Pizzle?
He's an asshole.
So
But
I don't
great
see
quarterbacks
nobody
are.
coming in learning behind him anyway. Like, and plus we're not gonna get in. We're not gonna get him. He's not gonna go from a worse. He's not gonna jump out the frying pan into the fire. He ain't that stupid.
What's up, Nutty? What's going on,
Plus,
man?
anyway, the Jets probably re-sign him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Because they don't have what they don't have too many better options. I mean,
Nah, they
who you gonna
messed
replace him
around
with?
and won one extra game. They down there in that 8-10 something down there. They're not getting one quarterbacks. So, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see. We got somebody. Is this the comment you were talking about? Maybe. Which side? Which side is the asinine side? Is Herbert way too good to compare to Carr? Or is Carr way too good to compare to Herbert? What's the feeling there? Because I don't know. He said, "My homie is a Saints fan. He wants Carr gone." Yeah, as a starter for sure, right?
Some people think that it's time for Spencer Rattler. Some people think that that Derek Carr fully drove out Thomas, and their head coach and all that. But who really knows? I don't really know the whole background story of like Saints because I don't follow them like that. I just know that I wish Derek Carr the best because he was a former Raider. I don't wish no harm on him, all that. And I wish like best for him, because the way that we did him, was dirty, you know what I mean? And he was here for us for a nice long term. And it sucks that he couldn't pan out here, but it was time for us to part ways. It just sucked how it was done. And I keep saying this, I'm tired of beating a dead horse, but you know what I mean? But the whole Derek Carr thing, it's over. And if he does come back, hey, be that bridge guy, right? I'm open for it. Teach our guy, you know what I mean? Hey, great, but it is what it is.
Pizzle said he was on this a couple months ago. He was just joking around, but he knew some people will want to bring Carr back.
There's a lot of more than just some people because on my comments, I post things about Sanders and Cam Ward, and I get a plethora of comments of people saying, "Why draft Sanders? Why draft Cam Ward when we could bring Carr back and build, around Carr again?" And trust me, I get the little aspect of what they're thinking, right? But in the general long term of things, why would you want to do that when you could get a younger franchise guy to build for the long term? And think about this. You're playing in the AFC West. You're playing against Herbert. You're playing against Bo Nix. You're playing against Patrick Mahomes. We got to get a solid stud guy. And I'm not saying that Sanders and Cam Ward could be that guy right out the gate, right? But they definitely have the tools and potential to do that. And Sanders definitely has the swagger about themselves and the confidence to do that. Cam Ward, that he definitely has the tools, like do that. And I'm not hating on Carr, but I feel like at the time right now, that ship has sailed. It's time to draft our quarterback, and it's imperative that we do so.
Yeah, I think we can do both. You know what I mean? I wouldn't hate the idea of him coming back as a bridge and drafting a quarterback and then learning from Carr, because the dude grasps offense, one of the smartest quarterbacks that I think has played. He can pick it up fast, and so the things that limit him, right? If we have a really strong defense or whatever, and the offensive line is patched up, Carr will make us a competitive team, and then we can kind of hand the reins over when the kid's ready. I wouldn't hate that, but the idea that he would have succeeded or not, I think that's Pizzle said it best. People are stuck at the past.
So it's not just Carr too, right? There's some people who want to keep AOC and think that he's the guy going forward too, and that we should just not draft Sanders or Ward or whoever, and just keep AOC and go forward on that route. Which, trust me, I love AOC too. I'm a big fan of AOC. I've done breakdown film with him. I watched a bunch of tape of him. I think he has the tools too, right? But when you have your chance to get a top quarterback, when you have a top pick, you got to get your guy. You got to do it. And congratulations to your 50-year anniversary of repping.
Crazy. I'm assuming you just turned 50 then. Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Feliz cumpleaños.
There you go. Yes. Pizzle is a.
It's Pizzle birthday?
Listen, he said 50-year anniversary. I'm just assuming. I don't know, man. I don't know. I ain't gonna put words in his mouth like that.
Oh.
But he seemed like a lifer. So
yeah. I think he's a lifer. I think Pizzle's a lifer.
He got the calmness about him where he just be like, we've seen this movie before. We good. So yeah. Shout out to Pizzle for repping the team for that long. Okay, so he said 52. So 2, I'll give you that. That's fair. You weren't even really conscious of anything before 2. So okay. 50 years. That is a long ass time.
Many years on this earth. Many years on this earth. Many moons you have seen.
Yeah, 50 more years, bro. 50 more years, Fizzle. Please. We need to keep people like you around. Weed out some of these other fools, and then we might be able to do something. So, yeah, let's go. And the Airsoft does have a point. The defense is on the field a lot, right? Because the offense is not doing it. And that has something to do with why they are what they are. I think one of the worst. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying our defense be on the field sometimes because we can't stop the run.
Sometimes. That is a
like
thing.
It's sometimes that the defense, the offense don't really help out a whole lot, but then the defense be shooting themselves in the foot. Like we couldn't stop the run a lot of the times this year. I mean, it was a stretch that, like 3 games in a row, we just was like giving up the cookies, the cornbread, the drink box, the fruit snacks.
Yeah.
The stuffing and the dressing, we was giving it all up.
Like everything.
So our defense would get better, like as our offense started creating identity. But you can't create an identity if you don't have no running back. You got God knows who's on first, what's on second. I don't know what's on third, and I don't know who playing quarterback. Like you can't be doing that, man.
Our bright spot.
Doing that. It's hard for an O-line to gel when you got 2 different types of quarterbacks coming in and out. That's why they say if you got 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. Like that's the reason why.
And who does that fall on? Who does that fall on?
That falls on the coach all the time.
Yep, that garbage Antonio Pierce that falls on Pierce. You know what I mean? And the only bright spot is Brock Bowers, and I'm hoping that he
Brock
breaks.
Bowers.
The freaking
Power of
legend
Bowers.
himself, man. So I'm hoping he just breaks the record. Keep getting them catches. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, aside from like that, what else do we have to look forward to aside from the draft and Brock Bowers?
The development and continued. I continue to watch Cameron Richardson. I want to see how he plays in this game, but he's been impressing me a little bit for a rookie. They came in late. Like I said the other night, where's Trey?
So that's one good thing about us like not doing so well too is that they throw in all kinds of our late picks too that we get to kind of see, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's just man, it's just a never ending story, right? Of the classic Raiders, how we have our high hopes, high expectations, and then our dreams get shut down, and shattered and stuff. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where's Trey Taylor? Did did he go into witness protection, or what happened to Trey Taylor? He won. Didn't
you
he
know
win
what?
the award as best DB
That
in
is
college
an
football? Or
amazing question you just said. So I think after the whole Kermit thing, I think he is on witness protection. You know that?
wow, come on, Anton. Listen, I like Trey Taylor, bro, and that's whack. So I hope we get to see him, get a chance to play. He won the Jim Thorpe for a reason. Like, come on, guys. Like, uh, okay, Kermit thing. Well, I didn't love it either.
See, I said it earlier. See, the whole Kermit thing. I said, yeah, I get it, but I don't love it. I don't
Well,
like it.
like it's a puppet. Puppets ain't intimidating. What the hell, bro? Like,
But see, he couldn't back it up, and he's poking the bear. You know what I mean? And who knows
listen,
if
this is what I say: poke the damn bear. Talk shit when you can, bro, because they gonna talk shit regardless. So let's just talk shit anytime we have a
no,
chance.
I
Talk
get it
shit
right.
even when you shouldn't
So
talk shit. I talk shit when I'm about to lose.
so
I don't
so
care.
so, so I so I get it right. But
Yeah.
look where he's at now, though. He's on the back of a milk carton. Amber alert! Trey Taylor calling all cars.
Trey, I love you, man. Please come on and let's talk about it because I think he's gonna be something. But that was I don't like what's happened with that. Where is he?
Talking all that
Like,
smack, but then you're on the back of a milk carton.
mm,
Come
mm.
on, man. Come on.
Okay,
You're on the next one. Come on, man.
okay. So I need to talk about this. Uh, actually, you know what? I want y'all's opinion first. Black, what do you think about this idea that it was a tank job from the beginning?
Nah, I think that we thought we were better than we were, and we found out we wasn't nowhere near that. And this is the scapegoat.
Mm.
I don't think we're
Western?
that smart.
Okay.
I don't think we're that smart to do all that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Western.
I can give them benefit of the doubt that once it start avalanching, they might lean into it, but I'm not even seeing that. I'm just seeing this straight narrative of we're weak, we're getting this draft pick. Antonio Pierce is just a young rookie coach, so let's not judge him too quickly yet. So I think that's what it is, and he just ain't filling the bill. That's all.
Mm.
He coached his way into this position like this.
Western. Is Antonio coaching poorly on purpose?
No, hell no.
No.
Hell
So,
no.
Airsoft dude, I know this guy personally, so I'm gonna answer this question here. So you should know better than this, bro, by asking this question. I know you, brother. Come on, you know it wasn't a tank job from the beginning, my man. Come on, brother. I think we just like how Black said, we thought we were better than we actually were. Just like how I did when I came out the gate with my season prediction wins and losses. And by golly gosh, was I wrong? I was super wrong.
Boy. Me
Super
too. Holy
wrong.
God.
Way wrong. And
Don't feel like the Long Ranger. Everybody got it wrong.
My darts I threw at the dartboard on that didn't even hit the dartboard. They were hitting wall. You know what I mean? And
I threw a dart into my foot.
So we beat Baltimore, right? And that gave us all hope. Like we're all like, oh shit, like
this is it.
We're fucking real. You know what I mean? Pardon my cursing. And then but then that Panther game, I called it when we were doing our live, and I said it. I was like, why? Whenever we play a quarterback who is like standard or below like default status, they come out and they play their best game, against us. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. I think after that Panther game, it kind of knocked us off our train track a bit, and then we just all our bearings from our train just got loose, and it all just fell apart going forward. And it's just it's Pierce, it's his coaching staff he chose. It's just we couldn't run the ball, we got no O-line. It's his comment, we drafted, oh no, it was a tank because we got Gardner Minshew. Oh man, look,
He's joking. It's a joke.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I had high hopes. Look, I thought
if
that
we didn't have Minshew, we would be 0-0. What are we?
We're 2-12.
We'll be 0-14 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll be 0-14. I think I think we win, at least one game. But
against who? How? We only won 2, and then one he had to come back against Baltimore.
I think somehow, some way we would win one game. One game.
It's just like we gotta get one
somehow.
I'm a Raider fan.
Bro, ALC and Riddler. ALC and Ritter, they got the best version of this team right now. Like, trust me, Gardner Minshew was not playing with the best version of this team, and he squeezed out 2 wins.
No, he squeezed out 2 wins, and this is the thing.
So I think
James will be back to fix everything for us and make sure we lose, guys. Don't worry.
Fields.
Yeah, put him at center.
So Fields
that's the word.
Yeah. So Fields was the target. We cannot get Fields, so we got Gardner, right? And then it just didn't pan out how it wanted in Gardner's favor and our favor, and here we are now. But it just sucks. And here we are now.
Another thing.
It is what it is.
Thank you, Antonio Pierce, for telling us that you couldn't manage Russell Wilson, because that's who I thought we should have signed as a veteran quarterback.
That's something else too, that was so cheap. And I'll keep saying this too. We could have gotten him for a half-eaten sandwich. So cheap.
Bro, we was going to build the wall pennies, and Mexico was going to pay for it.
Yep.
Bro.
Yep. we could have gotten him for pennies on the dollar, and Broncos would have paid for it. And but wouldn't it be the most classic Raider move if we don't draft the quarterback, we get Danny Dimes and then sign Najee Harris to a super high contract. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be some like classic Raider move?
That'd
You know what I
be
mean?
that would be
You know what I mean?
It would be classic, but I don't think we're that stupid.
no,
But
that's
I
like
really hope not. I
99
really hope not.
96 Al Davis right there. That's not
You know.
yeah.
So
Please don't do
I've seen all kinds of stuff thrown at me. Well, how about this one and this one and this one?
Wait,
And
hold on. Hold on. How did Minshew almost lose the Baltimore game? He won us the game, man. He came back. Please explain how he almost lost us that game. Because I'm confused, man. Jesus Lord, y'all be hating some Minshew, boy.
Yeah, I can't save you on that one there, brother. You're gonna have to talk yourself out of that one there. Oh man.
This is my point. Mike is a good head coach, and therefore he can handle it.
He's great. See, and Pierce wishes that he could be like that, man. That's why when Tomlin almost got let go from Pittsburgh, I was hoping all the stars and planets
man,
line up in one line and we could sign Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. He's the kind of standard for what you're looking for in a head coach.
Because teams like Pittsburgh, teams like Baltimore, they have one coach and they're there for a long tenure of time.
He makes adjustments to his
that's
roster.
because of the front office, though. See, the thing about that is not because the coach is so super competent, which he is competent, of course, because he hasn't had a losing season. But what makes them a good franchise to coach for is the franchise itself. Like, they got something in place where you don't have this anxiety of this coaching carousel. They pick a solid player, a coach, and they run with him, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I think
that's just a head office thing. That's not like a coach thing. The coach fit the bill, but that's the head office setting that standard.
Yeah, that's why Brady is so important.
We could definitely learn a few things about that, man, because we definitely have a high turnover rate, man, of coaches, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Hopefully we can kind of get off that train and pick the right guy. Brady is a football guy. I think Pizzle, I hear you. Especially I feel Bay Area fans. I get you and how you view Mark Davis. Fair.
To a
certain extent. He kind of did y'all dirty. For real, I was born in the Bay. Was there till I was 10, but I grew up really in Long Beach, so I'm more identified. I went to 1 or 2 games up there. Most of the games are at LA Coliseum, and now I'm at the Vegas games every time, right? So I feel you on that feeling, but like Mark Davis knew he wasn't the guy to be making these decisions. He's been looking for a football guy. He gave that job to John Gruden, right? And then the league stole that away.
I also blame Mark Davis, though, for caving in to Max Crosby for saying, well, trade me if we don't sign, Pierce. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't just Crosby. The whole locker room felt that.
Yeah,
felt like that. Devontae Adams. So what are you going to do, right? People have to choose to be led.
Yeah, but
you could hire somebody else, and then they're just going to. He played this movie out. Remember, they all wanted Bisaccia. He stood up and he was like, "Nope, I'm gonna hire a different coach." Now it was Josh McDaniels.
I get it. I totally get it. Right. Now that's
they revolted. They wanted Josh McDaniels.
I just feel like no player is bigger than the Shield, and I'll say this again, and I really don't want this to happen, or I mean, did want this to happen, but. Hey, if it did happen, then it happens, right? But if that happened with Al Davis, right, you would be traded to the worst team within the next 48 hours.
This is
Al
true.
Davis didn't play that shit. Pardon my language. But
Al Davis
but
is
that
also a
wasn't
little too
necessarily
aggressive.
the best route either, though. Like,
Right, like
it ain't
Marcus
like
Allen. What happened to
Al
Marcus
Davis
Allen? Come on,
the
man.
best routes either, though. I mean, like,
see, that's
we know he did.
benched him. You know what I mean? Not benched him, but I get it. Bo Jackson came in and
I don't even think Max Crosby meant it like how everybody took it. Like, it's either me or him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I didn't take it like that. I just they was just endorsing them, just like they was endorsing Bisaccia. I mean, but then what happened was they made the right decision. They didn't make a emotional decision, but then when they did sit down and thought it out, they came up with McDaniels. Like, well, damn. I mean, you'd have been better off just going off with the emotional decision. So when they found themselves in that situation again, they just was like, well, we didn't do this last time. We'll do it this time. And so now this time they got the emotional decision. It ain't the worst of emotional decisions, but when you make an emotional decision, you have to deal with the repercussions of said decision. And a lot of the solutions is not logical because we didn't hire him on logic. Like, he wasn't you don't look at his resume and be like, oh, this is who we needed. We felt like that because of the way we were playing at the end of the year. And it just didn't translate to an off season because the rest of the league was like, oh, we got tape on them now. So they're only going to do so much. And then AP, it's not like he went from a linebacker coach to like a 3-year veteran coach in that year or half a year period of time. He still don't even know when to call timeouts. You can't even play Madden right if you don't know how to call timeouts.
Right. So this is why I just got to say, you know, this is why I love this panel here, because we all have different opinions on, you know, thoughts and things here. And you have yours and I have mine. You know, we all have different thoughts and opinions. And I'm complete opposite on what you're saying on this take here. I strongly believe that, you know, it was, you know, Mark Davis and the players are paying for it now, you know, which you just said, you know, they effed up, right? And they see the consequences of it now. But it's just like I don't care who you are, what player you are. No player is bigger than the shield itself, and not one player or any player should, let alone dictate the team's decisions in the front office going forward. And that's just me.
Okay. I feel like it was not just Max though. I feel like it was the
it
was
you know, Max. I mean, it was Max. You know, it was others too, but it was also, you know, the like fans too. It was the fans, and then most of the fans who wanted him are now trading ship on him now. All the fans who wanted him now, they don't want him. They're like, hey, cut him, fire him. You know what I mean? So
our team
that's what they all asked for. And they got it, you know. So
yeah, that's why you don't let the inmates run the asylum, because one moment they want the guy, the next moment they don't. You know, I mean, like they was having players meeting in like week 4.
Yeah,
like
who else does that, right? You know,
how do you not know the boat is on fire at that point? Like, the ship is sinking. This is not a drill. This is the real deal. Nigga, help me. I'm sorry for saying that, but you know, y'all know the what's the little man name that be telling jokes?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Y'all know that. Y'all know how that go. Like, man, week 4, you having a players only meeting. That can't be because they wanted to have a brunch. I'm telling you.
No, it's not a good thing. We had a quarterback competition also.
You're right.
Right around that.
Like that was created by the coach.
How do you have a quarterback competition in like week 4 or 5 or some shit? What are you talking about?
How you bench your quarterback for throwing 2 interceptions and then mess with his whole season the rest of the year?
2 interceptions. It's not like they could throw 5 in one game. 2 interceptions.
And one of them wasn't even his fault.
God dang, bro.
Yep. There's just so much, there's so much, man. And
no, imagine that. No, think about that. We at the end of the year now, right? Let's say you go into a competition with a dude that was a rookie a year before that, but you just came from the Pro Bowl. Regardless how watered down y'all want to call it or whatever, y'all go into this competition. They name you the starter, rightfully so, in your mind, because you're the one with the more experience. Yeah. You go out there, you win a couple games, and then you throw 2 picks, they take you out, right?
Yeah.
Not only do they take you out, they keep putting you in and out of for the rest of the season to the point you get hurt, and then you don't finish the season.
Yep. Yeah. Terrible move. Terrible. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's coaching. Like that's something you don't teach. That's a personality thing. Like you didn't like Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
But really you played it out like this. That's what you do when you're a high school coach or a junior college coach or a D3 coach or maybe a D2 coach, maybe. I mean, you don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just wasn't no place for that in the NFL, and it's obvious. And I don't want to blame him too hard because his pedigree is what his pedigree is. They hired him, and he wasn't qualified. Really, he wasn't qualified, but they hired him. So you got to look at what he was qualified. I mean, what he actually can bring to the table. Our expectation level is too high for him, just like it was for this team. And now we're looking at the residual effect of that.
Yeah,
so what you mean?
But I feel like the team could have definitely did better with better coaching.
If he wanted to, he should have just started AOC. If he just really was going to act like that, he should just started AOC and let him crash out.
Oh yeah, so for sure. He should have started Garner, right? And he should have never changed him like how you just said, because that just threw a wrench in everything. You can't just do that. And I called it too. Like no matter how much I like AOC, right? Doing that just messes up everything. And Garner was better fit for this team than AOC at that time because AOC would just get sacked and he would die. You know what I mean? And Garner could actually move around the pocket. That's one thing that AOC can't do. He's a statue. He would just drop back and he would get hit and he'd die. But there's so much that Pierce did wrong, and I'm hoping that on his exit interview, that's one of the questions that they ask him is like, why did you change quarterback so early? Like that was not a good look, and he's never going to get another head coaching job again ever. He maybe he'll get another job as a linebacker coach, or something. But there's just so much.
His best chance to be a head coach again would be in college, but he can't do that because he violated NCAA terms and will not be able to go back to college.
So he's done.
And he's not like a coordinator, so
he's done.
You don't call no plays. That boy be sitting on the sideline looking like this.
And he always has his headset up, mic up. And it's like, talk to somebody, talk to a coordinator, do something. It's like he doesn't do there's just so much. Look, and it seems like I'm just bashing on him, but I don't see him do anything right. I don't see him doing nothing positive. Nothing positive.
But then again, it's kind of hard to do something positive when your team lose 10 straight. Well, I mean, you can at least still say the right things. You can say the right things still, like in that situation. He's just green. He is too green, though. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Sometimes you can eat a banana when it's a little green, but he is too green.
Who's the hot hand? What hot hand? Who? AOC was the hot hand?
Who had a hot hand?
Who had a hot hand?
two game wins is a hot hand for us. So he probably talk about Minshew. Minshew had the hot hand. He had to because he the only one that won games for us. That's why I don't understand how everybody think that AOC gave us the best chance to win when AOC ain't winning shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even comparing them. I'm not even comparing them apples to apples yet because it's apple to oranges because this person ain't won nothing. At least this person won a couple games. Like, if this guy had 2 wins and this one had 1, then we could compare them. But this one has none.
That's true.
In a better environment and situation. And I'm not saying that he worst quarterback. I'm just saying, like, on this team, you ain't going to be able to survive, bro. You need a veteran.
As much as I like AOC, right? Garner gave us the best chance to win.
He did. And the
Only
thing
because
is,
he was a veteran and he could stay alive. Because the best ability is availability. That's it. That's all that boiled down to when it came to them 2 quarterbacks. I mean, that's before we started talking about their attributes. I'm just talking about the ability to stay on the field.
Yeah, that's right. I always said the same thing. The best, yep. Reminds me of Diablo, who because you just said, the best of the trade, right, is availability, right? So it's fine trying to change, terms here, but whenever I think of availability on the field, I always think of Divine Diablo. That's the first thing that I think.
Oh yeah, he showed us this year, like as much as I talked about him, when he wasn't on the field, it was a difference, which was crazy. Right? And then the more that he was on the field, he started getting a little bit better. Now, has he hit a ceiling? I don't know. Maybe that could be even a coaching thing. Like, if you see a player like that, they have potential. If you put them in the right environment, they're going to turn the corner. Because good players in the NFL don't live off of how good they were last year. They always come up with new shit unless that thing you did last year is light years ahead of everybody. That's it. And it's only a couple players like that. Like the superstars where they so good, they don't have to recreate themselves. Just get open. Like Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was dope. Like if people ever actually watch Jerry Rice, you would know that there's no Randy Moss, there's no T.O. You couldn't put them 2 together and get a Jerry Rice.
No, man.
You know what I'm saying? But as Jerry Rice got older, he still was productive because he was so far ahead of everybody. The boy was out there at 40 going crazy. Him and Tim Brown.
There's some players, don't ever say somebody is Jerry Rice or Lawrence Taylor. Don't say that they're Barry Sanders.
I was just saying that earlier.
They're not on the same level. They're just not. Lawrence Taylor is responsible for the left tackle position. Think about that, bro. The ability of left tackles being so important is because of Lawrence Taylor, bro.
Right, next to the quarterback.
Absolutely changed the game.
Left tackle is next important than the quarterback because of him. You're right. Like, because if you can't block that in, your quarterback is gonna die.
Teams started looking for a left tackle that had mobility and could do all that good stuff because of Lawrence Taylor, bro. That's how good he was. Like, he is on a different level. Jerry Rice is on a different level, bro. Like, completely different. When you're one of the best receivers in the NFL at 40 years old, receiver is about speed.
Yep.
40, he was still dominating, bro. Like he was beyond good. Randy Moss was good, really, really good.
Not like Jerry Rice though.
He was not Jerry Rice, bro.
Randy Moss was great.
Not even close.
Grace.
Yes.
Randy Moss was great. They even got a term for him. You got Moss.
Yeah, you got Moss.
But that's the only thing you do. Jerry Rice will run by you, run a slant past you, would never drop nothing. Nope. Always was a consummate pro. You always had to pay attention to him. He just was next level, bro. Yep. T.O. would have mental breakdowns. T.O. would be like having problems with his quarterback. Jerry Rice never had none of them problems. None of them problems.
He made everybody better.
Issues. No stupid shit. Yep. He do more shit in retirement than he did when he was playing. Like when he put his rings on and put the finger up and all that. He was never like that when he was playing. He was like that in his mind, but he never projected that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Jerry Rice, he worked harder than everybody.
Yeah, no wide receiver that I've seen had a work ethic like Jerry Rice. I seen his old stuff, how he would train, and I was just blown away, dude. Like
he was on that Kobe level.
He was on that Kobe level, bro. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Where you like just ridiculous. So yeah.
Some people you don't compare. You're right.
Yes, I have objections to this. Dylan Loudboy is a talented player who was a zone running back who never really got a chance to play running back because he fumbled the ball. And I get it, but sometimes head coaches be a little bit too crazy.
Yeah, I hate that. Because you make one mistake, then they hold that against you like. Because what if he would have went in there and broke a touchdown? That don't mean he would have been the starter.
We had a very small sample size of him, and I didn't get to see enough of him to say it's a wasted pick. So I got to see a lot more play of him.
Pizzle.
John Taylor?
Come on, bro. John, better than Pizzle.
Was then Jerry Rice?
No,
he's trying to say better.
He being funny, but a lot of people slept on John Taylor. John Taylor was a boy.
Oh yeah, no, he was one of them dudes. But come on, man, better than Jerry. You got come on.
You know, Pizzle having fun right now.
Messing around. Yeah, no, Rice was that dude. And this is true. Moss didn't want to run over the middle. He was afraid of them hits. So, yeah. I agree with that.
Randy Moss ain't taking no hits, man. Randy Moss ain't running across the middle. Randy Moss had a bad attitude at times, too, and he used to quit on plays. He
quit on the Raiders. So
Well, yeah, he quit on the Raiders, but for sure he would quit on plays, too, though.
So look. So I'm gonna say this now. So Moss is, aside from Tim Brown and James Jett, he's one of my favorite Raider wide receivers, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. So I grew up watching him on the Vikings, and when we traded for him, I was so happy.
Yeah.
When we got him. I bought his jersey at the Raider Image day one. Raider Image, Oak Ridge Mall was there. Bought it. Boom. Right there. First game, Patriots, Monday Night Football, first touchdown, slant, Kerry Collins. I was so happy. I was just going ecstatic. I was going ecstatic for that, right? So when people say that he was the worst Raider of all time, the worst, or saying that once a Raider, always Raider, that don't count as him, right? I believe that's not fair when it comes to him, right? I would say that would go to Antonio Brown.
Well, he wasn't never really a Raider, though.
He didn't play it down.
He didn't
play it down. Not one down.
He was a practice Raider.
And he didn't even come to practice.
He technically was there.
Yeah, he didn't never play no games, bro.
He was there.
All he did was
no games,
Mayock a cracker.
I used to play with the Oakland A's because I played on the A's diamond before then. Like,
so you guys can say whatever you guys want to say about Moss and the fans and all that too. I don't care what you guys say. I still don't believe that he was the worst
no,
Raider.
I don't think he was the worst Raider.
the worst
It didn't
Raider.
look good.
No.
It didn't look good that he was on the sideline like this on the bench.
We got Collins. We got Lamont Jordan. We had high.
Lamont Jordan was
not that bad
that year. We had Derek. We had Derek Burgess. You know, we had high hopes going in that year, and it just didn't pan out. So you know,
who was
Burgess
the worst
panned out
Raider?
first,
Let me
you know,
see.
Thank God, right? But hey, so when I hear fans bash Moss, no, I don't want to hear that shit. So nah, don't even play that.
No,
shit.
well, that's arguable though. Like, but he had the same attitude as like Warren Sapp, but Warren Sapp actually balled out a little bit.
No, it's cool. Yeah, you know, I can't even hate on Sapp. I can't hate on Seymour. You know, I can't hate on all those guys.
Seymour used to play with us.
You know,
Richard Seymour.
Yeah, there's dude. I think of all those guys that came in. You know, they played. You know, they're like, there's so many of them. So many of them.
Let me see. What's the worst Raider ever?
He said AB was the worst Raider. Okay, if you count him as a Raider. But
Javon Walker,
he.
Javon was horrible. Who was that wide receiver that got beat up in Vegas and got left in a roadside ditch?
So, if I remember correctly about Javon Walker, now correct me if I'm wrong here. So, when we first signed him, now D'Angelo Hall, that is a good one, but let's go back to Javon Walker here. So we just signed him fresh off of Denver, right? Because you know he had some games in Denver, and we signed him. So if I remember correctly, with Walker, about the first week or second week, he freshly signed with us. He was at a nightclub or something, but with his homie, and they shot his homie, and his homie died in his arms while trying to like jack a chain or like something, and that kind of jacked up his head or like something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, because
Javon Walker still had some pretty good games though. He still had some pretty good games with us though.
Yeah, but he got into it with Floyd Mayweather and found himself in a roadside ditch.
He did get his ass.
That's what happened. He was messing with one of Floyd's girls.
Javon Walker's friend or Javon Walker?
No, him.
Javon Walker himself.
Yeah, Javon.
He had a rough
collateral damage.
He had a rough time. I don't remember him having any good games, but you know, that's just me. D'Angelo Hall is up there for sure. Yeah.
We had Trent Brown.
We did Trent Brown. How about Larry Brown?
Yeah.
Is that worse than Trent Brown?
I mean, at least Trent Brown had some games where you were like, okay, he's a good right tackle.
Because Trent Brown got paid and kind of just gave up.
Garoppolo was kind of garbage too.
He was garbage, but he was hurt though. So, you know, I kind of blame Josh for hiding his injuries.
D'Angelo Hall sucked pretty bad too.
He did, but D'Angelo Hall, Larry Brown, they both was horrible.
D'Angelo Hall got burnt by Eddie Royal. I'll never forget that game. I'll never forget that game.
Denver?
Because it was a primetime game, and I was so hyped about D'Angelo Hall too. I was like, we got this fool from the Falcons on the cheap, and heck yeah, we got a lockdown corner. Heck yeah. And then Eddie Royal freaking burned him, dude. Play after play after play. Tell me that's not digging back in the freaking Raider archives right there, dude. To all the Raider fans who remember that game.
I do remember that game. God damn. Yeah, Eddie Royal toasted him. Wow.
Rolando McClain out here. I actually kind of liked him, though. He just didn't ever pan out.
Oh, it's
Ronald
what about
McClain,
Jamarcus
the
Russell?
linebacker.
Jamarcus Russell, boy, Jamarcus
Well,
Russell.
yeah,
He
yeah.
actually played though, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
He was horrible.
I still think Antonio Brown was the biggest one, and I don't care what nobody says, man. He still was technically a Raider.
Facts. Moss said he was
Oh
never a
no.
Raider.
Oh no.
So
Garoppolo was pretty ass.
he was ass though. They
I don't
said
know,
Javon
man.
Walker's friend was killed by mistaken identity. Yeah.
Okay.
Sean Smith. Sean Smith
No,
was a
he
huge
wasn't.
part. He
He
wasn't?
wasn't. It was mistaken identity. Okay. Yeah, I
Mhm.
bet you wherever you got that same information from, it says nothing about the beef between Floyd Mayweather and them. Now, if you go if you go dig deep enough, they was telling the story what actually happened. So I remember hearing that. I could go look it up, but I'm just saying I know he was messing around with Floyd. Floyd is the boss out there. People don't understand that. He's the boss out there. And if you cross him, it's like crossing the mob.
Oh, you can't do that. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't
Oh yeah,
know.
Marcus Peters, he was asked too.
The Ole won't tackle nobody.
Oh yeah, Ole, Toro, oh no, Toro. Yeah, that boy was ass. I'm sorry, Marcus, and he from the town, so that was embarrassing.
Rolando has some mental stuff happening with him.
But
So.
when he went to Dallas, he did better in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does better when they leave here.
Dude,
You
All
always
right, so
gonna you always gonna treat
Bro,
your
it's the
next
truth.
girlfriend a little bit better than this dysfunctional one.
let's
It is
wrap
the
it up,
truth.
folks. We've been
It's
here
the
3
facts.
hours now,
See,
and
so
now it's devolved into how bad the Raiders.
yeah, so this has been the
Excellent.
Truth and Turmoil show here. We haven't done a
Yes.
live in quite some time, because we get tied up with life and work and things like that, But I got to give a shout out to Raider Ryan because he reached out to me,
Yes. And me.
and our boy here, and we had to, hook up and say, hey man, we gotta do a live, you know what I mean? So I'm off work for the next 2 weeks, so we're definitely gonna hook up more, put out some more content, some more, in the words of Graphic Raider, some more content. You know what I mean? So,
we will be back with that content for everybody. And yeah, my boy's loose and my boy Black be loose. We're gonna do this. And this is time now. We had a little bit of ain't nothing gonna change but the date, as we were going from 2-2 to 2-12.
What a change of events, right? What a change of events, man.
So it's going to get interesting now. Like I said, we're going to talk about the quarterback issues. We're going to talk about the offense. We're going to look at the head coaching candidates. We're going to break all this down. We're going to be informed as we go through this offseason about what we're going to do and what we should do. And I'm going to try to help do that for the Raider fans. That
keep the tank going. Keep the tank going. Please start Desmond Ritter. Start Desmond Ritter. Just have him fumble. Have him.
We got to lose.
That guy trips on himself, man. You know?
That guy, we got to sacrifice the pawns, guys. Thank you. Everybody was in the chat. Chat was amazing. You guys are freaking.
Don't worry about it. Ritter had a better chat.
Remember,
all 270 people watching.
You got to lose now to win for the future. It's just a few more games you got to lose, and it's over.
Just a little bit more. So to make these 12 losses worth something, you got to do 2 more. No, 3 more. 3 more times, man. We can do this. We can do it.
That's it. And then
any last comments, Black? Anything else you want to say before we get up out of here?
Nah, just y'all go out there and do what y'all been doing. Don't try to force it. You ever heard like you know what I'm saying? You can change the outcome of something if you're actually like watching it. Don't watch it. Don't scrutinize it. Don't overthink this. Like, let them go out there and do and be who they've been this whole time.
Right.
Like AOC gonna, even if he played good for a half, I'm telling you, we already know what it is, man. We know what it is. And he
Andre
injured.
James got this. Andre James got this.
So I think we're fine. But this is the Raiders, so we could find a way to like fuck around and win the last 2 games just because
it would be the most Raiderish thing to
and it's 3 games.
3 games, guys.
3 games.
And then I'm just gonna come into next year just talking the most shit. Like unless we just draft hella well.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna be able to draft well from number 5, from the 5 position, because we really ain't got much to trade but Max.
Exactly.
Any last words, Western?
Yeah, so I just want to say to all the guys watching, hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas holiday and a happy new year. If you're playing fantasy football, good luck in your fantasy playoffs and your championships.
Yeah.
Me and Hot here, we're in the semi championship rounds here, so wish us the best of luck here. And my final word of the day, I just want to say here, is originality. Be yourself. Don't be someone you're not, because there's only one you. Be yourself. You know what I mean? I see all these people, men, girls, women, they want to be someone that they're not. And why be someone that isn't you when there's only one you? And that's what makes you you. You know what I mean? So just be yourself and be original.
You're not gonna say it though? I thought he was gonna say one more thing.
Keep it cool, keep it light, keep it fresh.
Oh, there's one more.
Long ass back.
No, I thought you were gonna say, be yourself, because everybody else is taken.
There you go.
That too. I thought you were going to catch you with a long ass back. That's a little inside joke here. So if y'all is wondering, I say that because Taylor Swift got a long ass back. So from time to time, I say long ass back. You know what I mean?
All right. So listen, thank y'all for being here. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you guys. And make sure, like I always say, you sub to his channel and to Black channel too.
Yes. Sub to Western. Boy, that boy is brilliant. And you know, Black, man. You better, if you ain't sub to him yet, I don't know what you sleeping, bro. Sleeping. And sub to me if you ain't subbed yet. What's going on? Let's do it. And like I always try to say, man, read in between the lines. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's all at. And stay positive. Because what else the hell you gonna do, right? And stay hot. Good night now.